All right.
Shalom, shalom, Israel.
Shalom, we're live. We're live. Shalom, shalom.
Shabbat
Another
shalom.
SOT class, Sword of Truth Ministries. Today we have a basic class coming out, of course. It's simple. We have new students. We have new people. So it's very important we go back over our foundational classes. We're hitting color. 28 is coming soon.
We had Jacob and Esau.
Jacob and Esau. I know we've been hitting a lot of different little topics on Fridays. So my Friday trajectory should be basics until the spirit changes a little bit or whatever. But our goal is to make sure that new people are up to speed and are, and understanding what this true thing's about, what this information's about. It's not Christianity, it's not a religion, it's a nationality, it's based off your bloodline, off where you come from. We want to show much love to our, camps we're associated with, SOW, Stream of Wisdom out of Houston, under Quatazat, Virginia, under Zion, and of course, under Kazakia, and then of course New York is Zion, my brother Zion. Kawakab in Guatemala, and of course Amiatza in London, parts of Canada, parts of LA Judah, and parts of Central America, two people that watch our classes. Much appreciation and love for our online family, all right? I'm your brother Dawiyad, if you're new to us.
Kind of, Brother Liashad.
Brother Liashad, okay, so we're going to get this class going. So we got to be fast now. We got a million scriptures. The topic is called Israel Not Done Away With. Israel not done away with. This is a class we got to be able to have. We got to be able to prove that the Israelites were not done away with, that they were not, eradicated. If you go to the church community, the religious community, they're going to say that the Jews disappeared.
Yep.
If you read books, they'll say the Israelites were done away with and they just disappeared. And the only ones that are left are the ones that have these big noses in Israel that fight the Palestinians out. That's not the truth.
I wanted to pull a verse on that point. You brought out a great aspect of this class. Give me Colossians 1 and verse 26. Yeah. And before we hit that verse, give me Psalms 148 and verse 14. Because we have to prove who Paul was talking about. Give me Psalms 148 and verse 14 first, and then give me Colossians 1 and verse 26.
Psalm.
Yeah, read that.
148 and verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people.
Yep.
The praises of all his saints, even of the children of Israel.
So this is very important because contrary to what Christianity would teach you, what church teach you, saints aren't just anybody who says they're a saint. Saint is still designated to a specific bloodline. And in this particular case, the saints were, he said he exalted the horn of his people. Now we understand the exalted one, the horn of our salvation is Christ. But specifically, honing in on the saints part, we identify that he's talking about Israelites. Now let that go, give me Colossians 1 and 26.
Come.
Because Daya made a very important point. Society, the people will tell you that the Israelites are no more. People will tell you that we can all be Israelites. We can all be spiritual Jews. But that's not biblical and that's not reality. But
that's their doctrine, though.
That's their doctrine. And this has become this grand mystery or this grand hidden thing that only a select few people understand and know about. But this was prophesied in the scriptures as well. Read.
Colossians chapter 1 and verse 26 reads, even the mystery which have been hid from ages and from generations.
The mystery is who are the Jews. The mystery is where are they located. The mystery is how can you identify them. These are the mysteries that's been hidden from generation and even ages. Your grandparents didn't know about it. Your great-grandparents didn't know about it. The ones who operate in society, they might know about it, but they're not going to teach you, and they're going to keep it hidden from you.
And if you look at the classes do fit together like a puzzle.
Yep.
A war went over his Amalek class, showing that Amalek and Esau, of course, the so-called Jews, the false Jews, right? That connects to the Esau and Jacob class. Okay. You have to have a foundation in who's Jacob, who are the Israelites, and of course, who's Esau. We went over color or description of the Jews. Why is that important? Because you gotta know when you look at the Bible that you're looking at melanated people are people of color.
Okay.
Then, of course, the Shabbats we've been going over. The Shabbats are going over 1 Kings, 2 Kings, going through Jeremiah's. We're going over the detail for detail, exquisite history of the Jews so that we had our own state. Yep. We had our own political regime. We had our own economic situation. And we're not in that condition anymore. But we were not just kings and queens. We actually had a physical, real history. Not this make-believe, conscious community, Afrocentric mythical black kingdom fairy tale. We actually had a society.
Come. And most importantly, the Most High chose us. The Most High has always had a hand, or always had his sights on our people. And this is the greatest mystery that's been hidden from us since the beginning. He says, but now this mystery has been hidden from ages. Read on.
But now is made manifest to his saints.
But now it's made manifest to his saints. This is why we went into Psalms 148 to prove who his saints are. His saints is us. His saints are the Israelites by blood, but also by spirit. You see, you can't just be an Israelite just because you say, or just because you have the bloodline. There has to be some works and some seeking to Christ to also get this understanding, or you'll still be lost.
All Israel, not Israel.
Exactly.
Well, we know we're Israelites by blood,
Yep.
based off seed of copulation, based
Exactly.
off of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the fathers of promise.
Yep.
But if we're dealing with salvation, there's more required for your salvation than just, Christ said this is an Israelite indeed,
Exactly.
amongst Israelites.
Yep.
So we're supposed to be Jews of Jews, Hebrews of Hebrews.
And knowing who you are is the first step, but we have to keep growing and just past genealogies. But again, why are we going here? Because God is showing the foundation that you need to build on afterwards. After you've gotten the color of the Jews, after you've gotten who was Jacob, who was Esau, after you're getting Israel's not done away with, you can keep building on a foundation and keep growing from there.
Because these are classes you're going to be required to as far as young brothers, young teachers. These are classes or foundational topics that we have to be able to replicate and reproduce.
Yep.
All right?
Okay.
And going off of Shamshawan's class, what was it? Affirmation versus meditation.
Mm-hmm.
You see that Israel always interacts and intertwines himself with the philosophies of different races.
Yep.
Right? And those things always lead Israel off their spiritual path. All right?
Yeah, we're
You
good.
keep going to
Yeah,
scripture.
no, we're good.
Okay, so let's go into our first verse. 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 9. 2 Kings, chapter 17, and verse 9.
2 Kings, chapter 17,
Uh-huh.
verse 9.
All right.
Now
Like I
we're
said,
ready.
the classes are meant, they literally are a puzzle for your understanding.
Okay.
If you get affirmation versus meditation, you're seeing how people's minds go from conscious of God to conscious of idolatry. Then you go from looking at descriptions of the Jews in the Bible. I'm reading a book that's about the Hebrews. Damn, okay, I know the difference between so-called Negroes and so-called Caucasians, or Jacob and Esau, or so-called Latinos versus so-called Caucasians, Jacob and Esau. I can see that in the scriptures. A Wars Amalek class, okay, I can see this specific vein of people in the scriptures. But I got to understand, okay, these Israelites that are written in the scriptures, they're not forgotten once you get past the New Testament or get past the Old Testament. They're not just disappear, they just magically just evaporate.
Yep.
All right, let's read.
2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 9.
All right.
And the children of Israel did secretly.
Did what?
Did secretly.
And like I said, once again, connect to the Shabbat classes, connect to the what Shamshawan brought out. Israel secretly connects to different gods. We cheat on the Most High in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
Those things that were not right against the Lord, their power.
So they did what was not right against, not for, but against, opposite or contrary of the Lord, their power. Who is the Lord, our power? What is his name in Hebrew?
Yahweh.
Yahweh. And what's his son's name in Hebrew?
Shai.
Yahweh Shai. All right, it's not God. It's not Jesus. It's Yahweh Shai. And it's what? Yahweh, because there's no J in Hebrew. All right, there's no J in Hebrew. Now, when you do a new student, of course, you're going to say God and you're going to say Christ. But, we know what it is, and we have to be able to show that. All right? Read on.
It says, and they built them high places in all their cities.
So, what was Israel doing? They were building what?
High places.
High places. Places of worship that were not sanctioned by the Father. Independent spiritual areas to worship their gods. And you can backtrack this point, this high place point, go back into the Sabbath classes. We went over detail for detail about the high places and the history of the high places. Read.
Come. It says, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city.
Read on.
Come. And they set them up images and groves in every high hill.
Images and groves in every high hill. What were the groves? places where they planted seeds, places where they went to trees. As in what? As in gardens. What were in these gardens? Cannabis plants, opium plants, poppy seed plants, any kind of plant that got you high to talk to spirits and see spirits. When you read groves in the scriptures, you're dealing with places, they call it, Esau calls it academia. Academia is another word for grove, a place of education. But what education? The education of paganistic knowledge. What is the paganistic knowledge? The worship of idols. What is the worship of idols? Drug addiction. Not drug addiction, but recreational drugs. Now it's recreational, but back then it's just, they're getting tobacco, they're getting, intense. Like when Gad had tobacco, they had intense levels of tobacco where you could see spirits and mind travel. All right? So Israel was in the groves with these plants we weren't supposed to have, and they had images. Every certain statue or certain image we created represented an idea. So Israel was tapping into foreign ideas, and Israel was getting high, to keep it simple. All right? Read on.
And under every green tree.
Read on.
And there they burnt incense in all the high places.
Were they burning frankincense and myrrh?
And burnt incense.
They burnt incense. What kind of incense? Different incenses that get you high. Hot boxing. All right? Strange incense. Okay? Read on.
It says, as did the heathen.
As did the what?
As did the heathen.
So we imitated and emulated the heathen customs by getting into their images and their gods and getting into their addictions, their vices. Read. And speed up a little bit because it's a lot to read.
I got you. Whom the Most High carried away before them.
So the Most High carried away before them. The Most High did what? He got these nations out of our homeland. The land of Canaan was filled with what? Giants. Multiple nations, giants, and different nations that weren't Israelites. We were going there from Egypt to Israel. We had to basically eradicate them off the land. Read on.
And wrought wicked things to provoke the Most High to anger.
Read on.
For they served idols, whereof the Most High had said unto them, ye shall not do this thing.
So this is true. The Most High was upset with the Jews. But that doesn't mean he did away with them. All right? Read.
Verse 13. Yet the Most High testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by the seers.
So he testified against Israel. He sent all the different prophets. When you read the Old Testament, you're reading lots of different prophets that are teaching and prophesying against and telling our people that they're going to collapse as a nation and go into slavery under the heathens if we keep worshiping the images and locking into these groves. Read on.
Saying, turn ye from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes according to all the law which I commanded your fathers and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets.
So the Most High had enough patience to deal with our fathers and our fathers' fathers and our fathers' fathers. So when I'm not trying to make this an interman class, but if you're dealing with an interman concept, you're dealing with the Most High had enough patience to deal with his people, but we had generational issues or errors based off of issues passed down from father to son and mother to daughter. All right? Just like alcohol addiction, right? Just like alcoholism, it can be passed down. They say it's genetic, but really it's just familial, right? Depression can be familial, all right? Negative perspective can be familial, all right? Certain addiction spirits can be familial. Read on.
Verse 14.
But he tried to teach against these different cultures that our parents were passing down to the children. Read on.
Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like the neck of their fathers.
So what does Israel normally do? If we're dealing with Israel on a nationalistic scale, not a personal scale, normally the majority of Israel will just reject the information, reject the counsel God gives, and imitate the patterns of their parents. That is the modus operandi of the Jews. Read.
They would not hear, but hardened their necks, like the neck of their fathers, that did not believe in the Most High, their power. And they rejected his statutes.
Why could we not believe in the Most High?
And they rejected his statutes.
Because we believed in Egypt. When you read the Old Testament, what was the common theme Israel kept dealing with and entertaining? The idea of wanting to go back to Egypt. Why? Because Egypt was filled with multiple gods, and they were great of flesh, meaning that all fleshly interactions were accepted. All right? Read.
And they rejected his statutes and his covenants. And his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity, and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them.
In a shortened way, in a hyphenated way, just easily influenced, or what we call peer pressure. Israel deals heavy with peer pressure. All right, read on.
Concerning whom the Most High had charged them that they should not do like them. And after they left all the commandments of the Most High their power,
Which we deviated, read.
and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the host of heaven.
And then did we not just go into a topic where Shashawan was breaking down zodiac worship and going to the different stars, worshiping star worship? All right? Just so you know, every time you read these classes, all these topics are springing from the book. So the more you study, the more you hear these classes, the information starts making sense when you read it. All right? So we're tapping into molten images, the 2 calves, they made a grove, and worship all the host of heaven, which is Jupiter, the moon, the sun, all the different gods. Read on.
And served Baal.
And Baal is mainly the sun images. When you deal with the 9.5 tribes, what were the 9.5 tribes mainly following? Sun images. A lot of our people are worshiping the sun. Read on.
Serve Baal. We're in verse 17. It says, and they caused their
And if you're going to deal with Egyptian culture, the sun god is who? It's supposed to be Ra. So no matter what time period, if you're dealing with the Egyptian time period, it might be Ra. If you're dealing with the Canaanite time period, it's going to be what? Baal. But it's always the same objects. It's the heavenly bodies and the worship of the physical realm, and not the Spirit of Christ and not the Spirit of the Most High, through order. Read.
Verse 17. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire.
And people are like, why is it such a problem that we worship idols? Why is that big of a deal? Because these idols are really inhabited by demons. It's basically, when we're worshiping idols, you're really worshiping a demonic entity. And the spiritual realm is about blood. On the right-hand side, Christ shed his blood to give us an opportunity. On the left-hand side, what they do? There's also bloodshed. So what do these heavenly bodies, what do these statues, and what do these groves and all these spirits always come down to? They all come to the same thing. They all come down to shedding the blood of the innocent. That's what all these different energies and different gods and different ideologies, they all come down to that. We can play games and pity-pat with it. It always goes down to bloodshed. All right? So what did Israel do? Because they were following idols? Over time it advanced to what? Us killing our own children and putting them through the fire. And if you study Aztecs, you study Mayans, they were heavy in what? Human sacrifice. If you just look at the books and you look at the history, they were masters of breaking down certain organs and taking off certain parts of the body and even wearing the skin. All right? But we're reading about Israel before they actually inhabited the New World. This is when we're still in Israel. All right? Before the New World, and we brought our bad habits to the Americas. Read on.
It says, and use divination and enchantments.
Divination and enchantment is what? Simply witchcraft. Yeah. Imitating on earth, doing things on earth, or doing rituals on earth, so we can get the spiritual realm to follow those same rituals we're doing to give us what we want, what we're trying to actually have, which is basically strong manipulation. It's spiritual manipulation on the left-hand side, not going to the Father, not going to Christ, but going to an alternative source to get what we want, which is basically demons and Satan himself. All right? But hidden with the idea of a happy statue or a cube or a rock. Read.
And sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Most High.
So we sold ourselves, or what? What? We justified. I need to get my crops growing. I need to get these fish if I'm a fisherman. I need my animals to produce more animals. So they call that what? Those are called, say it a clearer way to say it, fertility cults. They're fertility cults. They want the animals to produce more children. So what do they do in divination? They tap into the left-hand side. I'm not going to go into detail for it. They tap into the left-hand side and go to the pole of Ashtaroth, which is where the modern stripper pole comes from. It's actually an ancient concept called the pole of Ashtaroth. And they whore out our own people. That was done in order to get those spirits to bless our goats, our sheep, and our oxen. Remember, you're emulating rituals on the physical realm to get the spirits to do it in the spiritual realm. Read on.
It says to provoke him to anger.
To provoke him to what?
Anger.
And the father got fed up with it. You're getting high. You're following these Gentiles I told you not to follow. Then your familial issues that were in your family, you didn't stand up against the familial issues that you had. You got the knowledge of the Most High to break the cycle. Every last one of us are supposed to be champions of our family. We break the cycle. You were not chosen to be like your mom and dad and be like your family. You were chosen to go against the grain and be contrary to whatever sicknesses pervade your family. All right? So we didn't go against our parents' sicknesses. We didn't go against the deviation of we didn't go against the Gentiles and their gods. And then we end up sacrificing our children for financial gain. It sounds like a good reason to do away with somebody, right?
Yeah.
But the Most High is merciful and didn't. But we're seeing why the idea is so prevalent. This is why the Jews are no longer here. They use these scriptures to say, hey, this is why God did away with the Israelites. When you can't read that in the scriptures. You read about punishment, but you don't read about him forgetting his people.
Yeah.
Read.
Verse 18.
Uh-huh.
Therefore the Most High was very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
So the only one left was the tribe of Judah, not the singular tribe of Judah, but the southern kingdom. All right? And I'm not going to say, oh, it was just Judah. It was the southern kingdom. It was Benjamin, Levi, and Judah. All right? So that Israel was split into two kingdoms, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right? Read on.
Verse 19. And Judah kept not the commandments of the Most High, their power.
But over time, what did Judah do?
And Judah kept not the commandments of the Most High, their power.
If they can break the law, I can too. What do we do? What does Israel succumb to? Peer pressure. Read.
But walked in the statutes of Israel, which they made.
So they walk in the statutes or the methodology or approaches of Israel. Meaning what? What do we do when we have brothers and sisters that get away with natives?
The same thing.
We get jealous
Yeah.
that they can be wicked and we
Envious.
can't. I can see exactly why Judah fell off couple decades later. Right? I think it's 200 years, but I want to quote that, but I believe it was 200 years, around that time period. But Jacob fell off, well, not Jacob, but Judah fell off, the southern kingdom fell off, because we were upset and jealous that these 9.5 tribes can go out there and worship their gods and be blessed, and their crops get blessed, and their lives get blessed. Just like Israel was upset that the nations could worship idols and them get blessed, quote unquote. Read.
Verse 20.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High rejected all the seed of Israel.
They'll take that statement and say, hey, he rejected all the seed of Israel. This is what they use to push the theory or idea, the false concept or the misbelief that the Jews were done away with. So we had to have these classes. We had to be able to show this. We had to read this. So the Most High did reject all the seed of Israel. Read.
And afflicted them.
By doing what?
And afflicted
And
them.
afflict them by putting them in a low estate. By not defending them in military warfare. By breaking them down with droughts. By breaking down their economy and their political system with the disconnection of the kings. Like I said, if you're catching the Sabbath classes, wars going detail for detail about the classism and the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class system, how they start to dilapidate and break down. All right? Read.
He said, and delivered them into the hand of the spoilers.
And what the Most High do? Who did it?
The Most High.
The Most High, not the white man. It wasn't the white man's power and ingenuity. It was the Most High who gave power to the Assyrian Empire to conquer the Northern Kingdom, which is so-called Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indians, Seminole Indians, Brazilians, Argentines, and so-called Mexicans, Samaritans, and Dominicans, right? Those Northern Kingdoms. And then Judah later on. Read.
Until he had cast them out of his sight.
And how did he cast them out of his sight? He had us kicked out of our homeland or pulled into slavery by the Assyrian Empire. Read on.
For he rent Israel from the house of David.
Uh-huh.
And they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king.
Uh-huh.
And Jeroboam drave Israel from following the Most High.
Read on.
And made them sin a great sin.
And we have people amongst us that were pushing us to sin greater sins. Is it any different than today?
No.
If you want to use your modern day example, your Cardi B's and your I'm not going to go into the whole celebrity list. whoever you want to look, whoever your favorite influencer is, 9 times out of 10, they're probably pushing an anti-God agenda, an anti-biblical agenda. All right, read on.
Verse 22. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam.
So Jeroboam led a rebellion against the Father's commandments, led a rebellion to lock into these idols and make it the national policy for the 9.5 tribe kingdom. Read on.
Which he did. They departed not from them.
And what does Israel do? Once Israel gets stubborn and connected to a weakness, Israel does not want to give up their weaknesses. Whether it's entheogens, quote-unquote addictions to plants, whether it's witchcraft, which is addiction to false religious ideals, whether it's just fertility cults, which we can go into that, but I'm not going to. When you're dealing with different gods, different religions, or just sitting here and want to go back to Egypt. Just want to go back to how things used to be in the flesh. Those are different angles that every one of us individually chose as a nation that led the Father to do what? Reject all the seed of Israel. Did it say do away with all seed of Israel?
No, he said reject.
It just said to reject, meaning cast them out of his sight, meaning what? Kick them out of the land. All right? Read on.
Until the Most High removed Israel out of his sight.
Read on.
It says, as he said by all his servants, the prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
So unto this day, a lot of Israel is still what? In Assyria. They're all over the world, but they're still in Assyria. That's where we were conquered. Read.
And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Separhavim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria, instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria, and dwelt in the cities thereof. And so it was the beginning of their dwelling there, that they feared not the Most High. Therefore the Most High sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed from the place of the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the power, or the Most High, of the land.
Read on.
Therefore he has set lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the power of the land. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom ye brought from thence, and let him go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of the power of the land.
So they sent one of the Israelite priests into that land to teach these nations how to live properly in the land. The funny part was the priests that were sent were still wicked priests. They were still off because we were already wicked. So we taught them another corrupted way of living. It was just close to the right way. All right? So now let's go to the next scripture. 2 Ezra 13, verse 39. So do we see that the 9.5 tribe kingdom, the northern kingdom, and then the southern kingdom, according to history, were escorted out of the land? We read that, right? All right, let's go to 2 Ezra 13, verse 39. So we're seeing Israel was kicked out of Israel. That's true. We were kicked out. That's true. We were conquered. That's true. We were idol worshippers. But that's not true that we're done away with. That's not true. 2 Ezra 13, verse 39.
God, 2 Ezra 13, verse 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude among him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Uzziah the king.
So stop right there. Now we're seeing in a vision, wow, these are another peaceable multitude. This is years later. Remember, they were kicked out. Israel got evicted by the Most High himself. We got conquered by the Assyrian Empire. And now this prophet, Ezra, is seeing a vision of these 10 tribes, or the 9.5 tribes. The so-called Latinos, the so-called Native Americans. All right? Read.
Whom Salmanessar, the king of Assyria, led away, captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so came they into another land.
So this people were carried over the waters, and they came into a what?
Another land.
Another land. Read on.
Verse 41.
Uh-huh.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
So what did Israel say? We're not going to sit here and be in slavery under these Assyrians. Let's go ahead and leave the Assyrian Empire and go to another land. Read.
And go forth into a further country, where never mankind dwelt.
Stop right there. What was the known world in ancient times? The East, right? So you're dealing with so-called Africa, so-called Europe, so-called Asia, right? That whole Eastern world, that was the known world. But it was already known that there was another world. We call it the what? The Western Hemisphere. So the Israelites from ancient times had knowledge that there was a what? A Western Hemisphere. Now this is important. I'll tell you why this is important, bro. They always talk about, man, what happened to these Aztecs? What happened to these Mayans? What happened to these Incas? What happened to these Native Americans? These Native Americans, they all had these different rituals and different concepts they had going on. Right? Doesn't anybody ask that question?
Yeah.
What were their gods? What were they doing? All the Native Americans were doing, all the Aztecs and Mayans were doing, and the Toltecs were doing, was they were doing the same exact idolatry that we did. The guys kicked out of the land in the first place.
Yeah.
That's all we were doing, bro. Listen, you look at those bomb temples. You ever see those temples? Those I look at all the time, bro. Temple of the Sun and Machu Picchu, the temples in the mountains like that.
Right.
These were idol temples. They weren't for the Most High. Listen, all these, you go to the jungles of Mexico and South America, they still have undiscovered pyramids. What were these pyramids? High places.
Yeah.
The pyramids in the Central America and South America, and in the islands and in America, they don't push it. But there's pyramids in Georgia. There's pyramids all over the place. Gad made pyramids too. It wasn't just Issachar. Yes, sir.
And this is after they decided to move on from their captive.
We're reading about it right now. We're reading right now that we were in Assyria. We went over the waters and we said, you know what? We're not going to live under captivity of the Assyrians. And the scripture is going to go into showing how we got to the Americas. But I just want to set that little plant that seed that when you look at books and you're seeing the Aztecs and the Mayans and the Toltecs and the calendars and all this different stuff they had going on, it was still that dilapidated, broken religion that came from previous empires. The Canaanite Empire, or the Canaanite land, and then the Egyptian land, and of course the Assyrians themselves. It was a blend of Assyrian gods, Canaanite gods, and Egyptian gods. That is the culture of the quote-unquote Native Americans. That is the culture of the quote-unquote Aztecs and Mayans. All right? That's where it came from. Read on. It's going to show it.
Verse 42.
Uh-huh.
That they might there keep their statutes.
But what was the original intention? Then we're going to watch the laws of Moses. Huh? Now, there's a book called the Popol Vuh. Have y'all heard the Popol Vuh before? The Popol Vuh is a Issachar account. It's an original account of Genesis. It's the book of Genesis written in the Aztec form, in the Mayan form. And they break down how they came and how the world started. The same way the Bible says it. It says the same exact thing and talks about Moses. He's mentioned in there. Same concepts, but it's in this Aztec language. Yes, sir.
We got it in the office, by the way.
We got it all, but I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to pull it out. But thank you. It's the book master right here, the book man. I appreciate that. You do got the book at the house. I know you do.
I was saying,
But you got the book too. I know you got that book. But the Popol Vuh just shows that how did these so-called Aztecs and Mayans understand the concept of Genesis? How these Aztecs and Mayans, how did Aztecs and Mayans build pyramids when they weren't in Egypt? Or were they? You go all throughout Egypt and that southern region of Egypt, even into Nubia. All is nothing but pyramid after pyramid after pyramid. But our people use these pyramids as what? High places, groves, and places to send their children under the what? Under the fire. So we kept the same religions of the nations, but we brought those religions to the Americas. But the beginning principle was what? We're going to come here and keep the laws of God. Read.
Verse 42 from the top. That they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Which we never did what?
Kept in their own land.
And what is Israel famous for? I'm gonna leave California.
Capping. I'm
And,
figuring it
and
out.
all this Crips and Bloods, man, I'm done with this lifestyle. I'm gonna go to Texas. And then what happens?
Do the same thing.
You got Crips and Bloods in Texas.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go to New York. Ain't no Crips and Bloods in New York. You look up, now you got Bloods in New York, Crips in New York, right? I'm from Chicago. There's GDs and Vice Lords. I'm gonna leave. In Atlanta, Georgia, they have GDs in Atlanta. Like, where do you get a GD from Atlanta? That comes from Chicago, bro. You got cats in Atlanta, GDs and Vice Lords in Atlanta.
Yep.
What is this about? Israel, once again, likes to imitate weak behavior that's anti-God or anti-law. And it just ends up making us more scattered. Read on.
Verse 43.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So this is the specific detail. This is specific history. All right? Read on.
Verse 43. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river.
Let me break
For
that
the
down.
Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood
Yeah, move it.
until they were passed over.
Uh-huh.
For though that country through, but for through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
So stop right there. So class, how long did it take for Israel to get from the Euphrates, all the way to the New World? It took a year and a half. It took a long time. So they went around the tip of Africa, all the way through the ocean, all the way to the New World. Yeah. Yeah, Pacific is West Coast, Atlantic is East Coast. So they went through the tip of Africa, and then they went to what? They call it, in old maps, they call it the Ethiopian Sea, in the old maps. Right? But really, nowadays it's called the Atlantic, which is cool. Right? But they went around Euphrates, tip of Africa, and then it took a year and a half, a long time. And finally, the 9.5 tribes, the so-called Central Americans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indians, Seminole Indians, Brazilians, Argentines, so-called Mexicans, finally got those lands. Now, in Mexico, what did they speak before Spanish?
It's a broken Hebrew.
They call it Nahuatl. Nahuatl. All right? Nahuatl, they're going crazy in New Mexico because all in the jails, people in the jails are speaking Nahuatl. All right? And in parts of Mexico, they still speak Nahuatl, which is the original language of the natives. Now, Nahuatl is just broken Hebrew. All right? There's books about it. About Nahuatl has exact phrases that are Hebrew. It's of Shemitic origin. It's a Shemitic language. A blend of Assyrian and a blend of Hebrew. And broken down over time. All right? Read on.
God. And the same region is called Asareth.
Asareth. And if you look at the word Asareth in the Jewish Encyclopedia, 1929, it says Asareth means another land. All right? Another land. And then it says, quote unquote, the Americas. So they're saying that it is the Americas. All right? There wasn't the Americas in the Eastern Hemisphere. The Americas are where? In the Western Hemisphere. Which is what? North America, South America, and what? Central America. And it took a year and a half journey through the Euphrates River to the tip of Africa, through the Ethiopian Sea or the Atlantic Sea, into the New World. And they established, quote unquote, the laws of Moses, which you know and I know, we didn't keep them. Right? But if you look, you're going to see, and even in Puerto Rico, you're going to see they have Hebrew on stones. You go to Georgia, there's a wall in Georgia where there's Hebrew on the walls. You go to New Mexico, Los Lunes Stone, there's the 10 Commandments written in Hebrew on the stones. So parts of our people kept the tradition of being Hebrews like it is today. There's always a what? There's always a remnant of those that want to live right, and the rest want to be Jake. And what's Jacob code term for? Just lock into the idols of the world. All right? But we're seeing the history of it to show that no, they're not done away with. We simply transferred from the Eastern Hemisphere to the Western Hemisphere. We did not disappear. All right? Like their scholars say. Read.
God, verse 46.
Uh-huh.
Then dwelt they until the latter time.
What's the latter time?
Last days.
What time are we living in? The last days. Where is the so-called Issachars at? The so-called Argentinians at? The so-called... Where? You didn't go nowhere. You're right there. They're down the street. Right? So these Latin tribes and these native tribes are in the Americas until what? The last days. And who's there too? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Right? We went from the eastern hemisphere to the western hemisphere. But we're still together. Right? In negative. Right? But we're together. All right, we're still together. And parts of us try to keep the commandments. All right? Read that last verse again, verse 46.
Verse 46.
Uh-huh.
Then dwelt they there until the latter time.
Then dwelt they there until the what?
Until the latter time.
Read on.
And now was they shall begin to come.
So stop right there. So bottom line, now we're reading the history. The first scripture in 2 Kings broke down the reason the Most High kicked us out of Israel. He didn't do away with us. It said he rejected the seed. I mean, it's not a religion. It's not a religion. It's a bloodline. He rejected his children because they were passing their children under the fire. What is that? Worshipping Molech. What is Molech? It's a cow god that has his hands out, and that you put the babies in the hands, but the hands are made out of brass, and there's a fire under the hands. So the babies are caught on fire. The babies are set on fire in this bull. All right? And some people, they actually put the children inside the bull, and the babies burn up inside the bull. And as the heat goes, there's going to be smoke coming out the nose of the bull. And that smoke is the bull breathing. Or the bull, the bull breathing, he's alive. But that's an act of worship. For the sister to ask that question about what that was, what putting on the fire meant. All right? It's Molech worship. All right? So now we got where we're at. We see the Most High's reasoning. We read the history that shows how they got here. It wasn't the straight. It wasn't they went to Alaska. It wasn't some Chinese guys who went to Alaska and just started becoming Native Americans. It wasn't that. What's that called? It's called the Arctic, the Bering Strait. It wasn't them chasing, woolly mammoths, and they know, hey, we're in Alaska, we're in California now, we're in Texas, we're in Mexico. That's false. The scripture is showing us that we came from Euphrates, Israel, Assyria, tip of Africa to the Americas. All right? Hosea 4 and 6. Let's get it. Hosea 4 and 6. So we see what the Most High did and why he did it. And then we read in the vision the prophecy of those people going to the Americas. And then it's 2023. We're still in the Americas. All right? Hosea 4 and 6.
Come. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
Uh-huh.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
So Judah, Issachar, Benjamin, Levi, the so-called, Negroes, whatever you want to call them, the actual Israelites, they're destroyed for what reason?
Lack of knowledge.
They don't know who they are. They don't know their history. They don't know their heritage. But why is that?
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
So because we rejected knowledge, what was the knowledge? The knowledge of what? The Most High. And what's the knowledge of the Most High? In a basic sense. The commandments. Right? The scriptures, the commandments. The testimonies. Read on.
I will also reject thee.
And so how did he reject us? By allowing these different kings to conquer our nation.
Yeah.
All right? Read on.
That thou shalt be no priest unto me.
And why is, and what were we meant to be as far as priests? Because you were going to it earlier in the topic. Last that Israel was meant for more. They were meant for great. Because you said all Israel's not Israel, right?
Yeah.
But we're supposed to be saints, right?
Yeah.
Saints are what?
What made you a saint was your example and the way you operated in the Most High.
Uh-huh.
You were in, what you got?
No, I'm saying, doesn't saint mean service to the Most High?
I'm not entirely sure. I haven't looked it up, the actual definition of saint. Okay. But we understand saint means you're an Israelite.
You're set apart.
Yeah, exactly.
For the Most High service.
Yeah.
So Israel's supposed to be set apart for the Father's service, but we didn't do it as a nation, right? But we're using these scriptures to show, no, that Jews were not done away with. No, they didn't just disappear. Because prior to the 90s or whatever, they just pushed, they disappeared. Until brothers got in the corners and started preaching and teaching. All right? Can you read on a little bit more?
Come. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power.
So he forgot the law or the discipline of our God. Read.
I will also forget thy children.
I will forget thy what?
Children.
And what are we?
Children,
We're the children of our what?
fathers.
Our forefathers, who are worshiping what? Idols.
Right.
Simple as that. So you were chosen to go completely against whatever weak elements that your parents naturally inherited from their parents and their parents and their parents. Y'all see that you're chosen. I mean, we're not going. This ain't a chosen class.
Yeah.
But do you see how this is why you're supposed to teach? This is why you're supposed to live to a higher standard. This is why you're supposed to read and study, because you're fighting familial curses and familial issues. Y'all see that? And these familial issues end up getting us conquered. All right? Read on a little bit more.
Come, verse 7. As they were increased, so they sinned against me.
So as we were increased, we did what?
Sinned against me.
What do our people do when they get blessed more? We get more money, more cars, more blessings, more free time. What do Israelites do with more free time?
They forget about the Most High.
Huh?
They forget about the Most High.
Israel forgets about the Most High and they lock into comforts, they lock into freedoms.
Serving themselves.
We've had the same issues since the beginning. All right? Yes, sir.
So this ain't nothing new, right?
There's nothing new on this side. But that doesn't mean the Most High forgot about the Jews.
Yeah.
It just shows this was the issue. This is the specific reason why it had to cast us out of our land. And reading the history of how we got to the Americas. All right?
Yeah.
Read on a little bit more.
Come. It says, therefore will I change their glory into shame.
And we went from the glorious stage, gold, commandments,
Yeah.
fringes, studs, glory, great heritage, mighty in battle, mighty in warfare, ruling the earth for a great period of time, eating healthy, having beautiful families, having orderly households, having our own vineyards, to Section 8.
Whoa.
That's where we went.
That's real.
That's where we went, from vineyards
That's right.
to Section 8.
Come.
That's the literal breakdown. If you want to be real, okay? Marching for rights, begging for jobs. When we had servants.
Yeah.
We had our own servants. We had different nations that were in our households serving us. We were from that to being mammies. And you read about the mammies. What were the mammies doing? Feeding the master's babies, right? What was Issachar doing? Sitting here going through all the fields and picking all their fruits. What was Judah doing? Sitting here picking all the cotton. Getting hung, getting lynched. Getting all the sugar. If you're in the islands with sugarcane. Right?
Right.
If you were a Gad, you wasn't doing all that, but what were you doing? Being put to death on your own land. Right? Being scattered on reservations. Do you see the Most High was still offended at his people? And that attack or that rejection was from the land of Israel, even to the Americas?
Okay.
So the Bible is a book of history. This is a book of our heritage. This is not a religion. This is an actual historical event. All right? So let's finish with that. Let's go to
I wanted to pull something really quickly.
go ahead and pull it.
Give me Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 8. And someone else give me Baruch chapter 4 and verse 2. You on the Baruch 4?
You know what's going on, man.
I do, but you know.
You know what's going on over there.
Yeah, it's my place.
Do what you gotta do.
No, I'm not gonna go too far. If you are, you got it. Give me Baruch 4 first. 4 and verse 2 first. I want to explain something. Daya made a point, and he talked about how we were once stated or looked upon as the example of excellency. It was Baruch 4 and verse 2 down. I'll tell you when to stop. I don't want to go too far deep into it. But the first one I said was Ecclesiastes 10. And I believe it was verse 8, correct?
Yeah, 10 and 8.
So give me Baruch 4 first.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it.
So, give me verse 1 actually. Explain what we're talking about.
Verse 1. This book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life.
Now that life is light, the illumination. All right, we spiritually come to life. When you're reading Proverbs, it talks about how when you're walking without understanding, you're in the congregation of the dead. We were spiritually dead before we had the understanding of the Most High. This is what Ezekiel talks about, waking up to the dry bones. The dry bones was waking up after the prophecy was fulfilled of the 350 years of times, and dividing of the times. I'm only explaining these little aspects to explain the scriptures is what got us to this point and has rejuvenated us as a nation, or we're in the process of being rejuvenated. It says, take hold onto these scriptures, the commandments of life. Read.
But such as leave, it shall die.
But if you leave it, you're going to die. Because what the Most High is not going to do is, how many chances do you expect him to give you? I just woke you up. I've kept your people in perpetual darkness for 1,000+ years. I didn't even let your family in on this. I didn't let your grandparents on this. And I'm going to give it to you and you're going to cast it aside? If you cast it aside and being reawakened again, you're going to die. I'm not keeping you around to keep polluting my name. Because when he wakes us up, our name is on our back, or his name is on our backs. Why is the Most High going to be put to shame? Why is Christ being put to shame for repping somebody who's not about Christ? This is what you read in Hebrews 6 and verse 4 to 6. It says, we crucified Christ afresh when you choose to go back into the rudiments of the world. So if I'm getting these commandments, I got to hold on to them. Or there's going to be a repercussion behind it. But keep going. I want to get to the point. Read.
Verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
When we walk in these scriptures, you'll come to light. This is what it says in Matthew 5, that we are a light unto the world. The light is your understanding. This is the quote-unquote flex of society. That you know how the Most High thinks. You know how to please the Most High. Because this is the great mystery. How do I please God? Most people have just given up and decided to please themselves. And to see what happens in the end. They're rolling the dice. We know how to please the Most High because it's written in front of us. And it's made clear and plain to us. Read on.
Verse 3. Give not thine honor to another.
Now this is why I wanted Ecclesiastes 10. It says, give not thine honor to another. Read.
Nor things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation.
The honor that we had was the wisdom and the power and the blessing the Most High gave us, which is our own sovereign kingdom. You see, salvation is power, rulership, and authority. When you're the top dog, you have that. You call the shots. You get to establish the laws of your own land. Your people is your representative, not some other people that has it out for you. It says, don't give what's profitable unto you to a strange nation. But how did we give what was profitable unto us to a strange nation? Because the Most High is like, you know, if y'all ain't going to follow me, then I'm going to give it to these Canaanites to come live in y'all land. Give me out in Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 8.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealing.
So the Most High is still just. Even though he loves us. Even though we're chosen. Even though he wants us to have that everlasting kingdom. That city on the hill. He's just. And he'll take it away from us. Read on.
Because of unrighteous dealing.
Because of unrighteous dealings. Read.
Injuries. And riches got by deceit.
So we were operating in a certain way that was extremely distasteful to the Most High.
And if you go into the details of it, which I know you would, you got a time issue. We were really doing the poor amongst our people bad.
So we
were oppressing our own people.
The ones that were about God, we were doing extremely bad. Those are the ones we were committing injuries to. We weren't committing injuries to the ones that are also knee deep and negative with us. Those are our homies. The ones that was about Christ, the ones that are about the Most High, that was who we were committing injuries. That was who we were killing on a large basis. We were slaying prophets left and right. We were burning children. We were eating children came from starvation, but we were committing sacrilege. We were going far and extreme left. So what the Most High do in return? Read on.
And injuries got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another.
So what the Most High did was that which was prosperous and profitable to you was given to another nation. Your kingdom was taken from your hands and given to white man. Was given to the Arab man. Was given to the Chinese man. Was
given to the Assyrian man.
Given to the Assyrian man. Because you know what? Your time was done. I got to sit you down so you can learn your lesson. That's how special. Because you know what? We know the nations are also negative. We know that. But the Most High doesn't play games with us. He has to deal with us this way. He has to deal with us quick. Because if he doesn't sting us quick, we'll get even worse. It already talked about in Jeremiah how we were worse than the nations. We look at the nations now and we're like, man, there's no way. How could we have been worse than them? Yeah. That's how you know how off we were as a people.
Yeah.
So to stop that, He had to completely remove us and make us subjugated under these people to slow our negative down. Because if not, we would have corrupted ourselves even further.
If you don't want to be in order, I'm gonna get these people to make you be in order.
Done.
It's like jail. You don't want to wild out in the street. They go to jail. There's more order in jail. Brothers
Get humbled.
Brothers do more reading in jail than they do outside of jail, huh?
You
That's
get
how you
humbled.
know. That's how you know the Most High set it up, huh?
Kinda.
Jews are more productive in jail, huh? Brothers, Jews get degrees. They get the GED, the degrees. They get in shape. Brothers get sharp. Brothers get strong. Brothers get they fighting together.
Because you got to get out. I got to do something in my
We
life.
got business ideas. Brothers are posting from jail. The brothers are posting and stuff, creating ideas, inspiring people from jail now. There's camps in jail. There's just jail camps. Homie told me, bro. He's like, man, I'm tell you something, bro. Brothers are teaching in jail. They got camps in jail. So that's a blessing. That's beautiful, bro. Most High's words everywhere.
God.
But you know what? Why does it take that situation to get us to read the scriptures?
We had to lose our heaven, which again was power, worship, and authority,
Uh-huh.
and give it to somebody else.
They didn't care about
There
it.
is heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is being the top dogs. Heaven on earth is being respected.
It's power.
It's power. People actually care and will listen and appreciate your existence. That's heaven.
We say, oh man, is there a blank bank? Every once in a while they push this black bank idea. They're like, we don't have no black banks. We don't have no.
Oh yeah,
You know, but I'd be scared to put my money in there. You know how brothers be doing that. You know,
you finesse your own people finesse.
but put your money in the black bank if you want.
We get some return. You give me 2,500, I give you 10,000. Nah, G, you gonna scam
Listen,
me,
bro. I will
I'm not
flip it
giving
for you.
mine.
There's one dude online recently, bro. He got everybody hyped up, told his money out, and then the money just disappeared some kind of way. It just disappeared. Everybody invested his money, but he said black people need to come together. It's the same thing we say.
Yeah,
But we don't ask for your money though.
yeah,
We say keep the commandments. We say come together and keep these commandments.
yeah, exactly.
He said we need to come together and circulate our dollars together. And all of a sudden,
put it on the pot.
listen,
And it's
people
gonna
are
listen
mad
out.
at him.
Of course,
All this money can't be found.
brother. It's the BLM.
But he still have money though. He's still good though.
Oh, he's great.
He's actually living better now.
It went somewhere. That money goes somewhere. It ain't to the community.
And
It
you brought up BLM.
God,
Look what our people do when they get a little authority. When we get authority, who do we oppress?
ourselves.
Our own people. Drug dealers. They
Yeah.
come in the neighborhood, they want to pass out some turkeys out once a year.
Yeah,
The rest of the year, they feeding our parents and our cousins drugs out. But you're going to clean it up one day by getting somebody a turkey out? Is that make up for all the killing we do?
you know it's bad. In South America, I used to watch those Narcos TV shows on Netflix.
Yeah.
But they always went into how the narcs were appreciated and loved more than the actual government. So you got two negative fronts. You got the narcs who were selling you drugs and killing you,
Yeah.
and you got the government who's just killing you.
Yeah.
So I'd rather choose the narcs, so at least they're gonna come back and give some of our families $500, 500 pesos, buy some bread or something.
Listen, bro, we're more
That's
comfortable
crazy.
under wicked order than righteous order. So the Most High created the devil on earth
Yeah.
to conquer us, these nations on earth to conquer us. Brother, we're badass kids. That's why it's going to come down to the point where 2/3 got to go.
Yeah.
Only one going to make it out of 3. What the Bible says.
Yeah, because we're still gonna have rebels.
Listen.
Salvation is gonna be in your face. You have an opportunity to serve God, and you still say lie.
Listen, the scripture
I
shows
don't want to.
that Christ is going to come back and be right in front of us.
And plead with
And
us.
he
I-
still have to deal with the rebels. There's still rebels.
That's crazy.
There's still brothers that don't want to go to work.
No,
They don't want to go to work, guy, and they're right in front of Christ.
I don't want to teach
He's
anymore.
like, you gotta drop this truck. I was like, I ain't gonna do it. Pick this box up, but I can't do it. I'm done with the boxes. That's what's gonna happen.
you know, brothers had this idea that like, once Christ comes back, we'll be chilling in our thrones, our kings.
not gonna
we'll be
happen like
doing
that.
nothing, bro. You'll be teaching, bro.
Listen, bro.
You'll be teaching all day, every day.
Listen, bro. If you get tired of teaching now, if you get tired of breaking scripture down, if you don't want to study now, think of study when Christ is right in front of you. It's like this, If you're supposed to be I'm gonna take you. You gonna go to hell, Put it like this. wake up in hell, He'll be translated to the lake of fire. I was tired, I was tired.
Oh, my
But the point is, you know the Jews are crazy when if Christ comes, he still has to say, "Bring them before me, so I may slay them." How much rebellion is that?
brother, that's
You saw the chariots. If for new people, the chariot class, we're not gonna go into the topic, but the chariots are these angelical vehicles that are picking up the Jews. We might drop, we might not. We probably will.
You gotta drop it.
Yeah, because he brought it out now, right? But Christ came with the chariots and the angelic beings, saved us from nuclear destruction coming from Russia, which is, you look at the news, it's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then brothers go in the wilderness, wherever that's going to be at, and brothers still be rolling dice out and fighting, arguing, and drinking 40s out and going to war with each other out. Whatever brothers do.
You're mad that their cell phones gone out. That's gonna break some people.
I miss I used to text. I can't text nobody.
Oh, bro, that's gonna break people.
I gotta talk to my brothers now. Like we got the brothers.
I gotta actually communicate.
But the whole point is, Israel,
sports. Oh.
Israel, the Most High Himself and Christ Himself are gonna physically purge out the element of rebellion. And those that don't lock in gotta die, according to Scripture. So this right here is practice. What we're doing right now, getting past our personal issues, this is practice. Fighting your familial issues, this is practice. Breaking the addictions, Israel got addictions, right?
Yeah.
Israel has physical addictions.
Yeah.
This is practice. Getting past native thoughts, this is practice. And for those that want to worship idols, Shashawan's class, previous class, we've done this a million times, but your own mind and your own thoughts can become a what? Idol. Most people worship their own thoughts. This is not that class, though. We're just simply showing what reasons the Most High kicks out of Israel. We're proving the history, and then we're showing that Israel forsook the Lord, and we forgot the Most High. All right? So now let's go to Jeremiah 18 and verse 15. Oh, you're still in that scripture?
No, I'm done.
Okay, beautiful. What he brought was beautiful. Jeremiah 18 and verse 15. Jeremiah 18 and verse 15.
Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
It says, because my people have forgotten me.
What did the Most High say again? Read it again.
Because my people have forgotten me.
You know we forgot the Most High when you don't know you're Israelite. That's how you know. You're a Negro. That's Spanish for black. You're Indian. That means you're a savage, according to the language. You're Argentinian. Argentine is the Latin word Argentinum, which means silver. You're the silver people.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Because they had the mind for silver. You're Puerto Rican. You're a rich port. You're from the land where there's riches at the port. You're
money is made at the port. Not in the actual city.
Yeah.
But you get money out the city.
Exactly.
All the stuff's leaving the city.
Yeah, we taking this money. They rich Portians.
Export.
Exactly.
Export.
You're Haitian. You know Hades means the people of hell. That's what it means. Listen, I love Haitians, huh? I love them. But I'm telling you what the white man named them, huh? The white man named them, huh? He named them the people of hell. You know why? Because he couldn't fight them, huh? They're hard to deal with. He could hold them back. He could hold back all the different Levites. They were strong. All right. You have also the Brazilians, and Brazil is a certain kind of wood. They name the people after a tree, which the root word is Brazil. So these are the tree people. These are the rich Portian people, the people of hell. These are the literal black people, literally black. No, not melanin. Someone just black, like this cell phone. Dark sky, it gets dark. You just can't see them ever again. It's not talking about that. These are derogatory terms that the nations put on us, but we forgot our real names, our real heritage, our real history. Why? Because Scripture says, "Thou hast forgotten me." We forgot we're the sons of Jacob, Abraham and Isaac. Read on.
They have burned incense to vanity.
And brothers was smoking trees. Let's keep it simple. That's what it says, bro. Do you think brothers were burning not champa and vanilla? Brothers were burning incense. Brothers were burning tobacco, cannabis, opium, and in 1985 what they burned. You already know. Read.
It says, and they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient paths.
So the ancient paths is the righteous paths that were given at Mount Zion. We got the 10 commandments. And there's 613 commandments. All right, read on.
To walk in paths in a way not cast up.
Read on.
To make their land desolate.
Read on.
And a perpetual hissing.
Is Israel not desolate right now?
Mm-hmm.
Our land's always getting tore up.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Nothing grows there, huh?
Yeah.
There's no more resources. Nothing grows there. It looks like a wasteland. Our homeland's like a wasteland. Read.
Everyone that passeth thereby shall be astonished and wag his head.
But it doesn't mean they're done away with. It just means they're under punishment. It just means they're under restriction. Read.
I will scatter them with an east wind before the enemy.
This is when you had Gad that couldn't defeat Esau. Why was that? What did Esau use against Gad? Smallpox blankets. That was really what took Gad out.
Yeah.
Smallpox blanket and killing the buffalo, killing their food source. Yes, sir.
I was also going to say too, there's a documentary of tribal Native Americans. They said that they also destroyed them when they started to introduce the natives, like white flour, white sugar, like certain ingredients in food. They also destroyed them on that level.
Oh, I mean, we got diabetes like crazy.
Yeah.
That's what you mean. Give him diabetes. He says, "I'm gonna get you in the 90s with diabetes."
You know, it's the same thing with the Southern or South American indigenous people, because when the Spaniards, the conquistadors, came over, they weren't winning that war. What happened was between early 1500s, it was 1521 to 1570, they said 80% of the indigenous people were wiped off the face of the earth through the Cocolizzi. I think it's called the Cocolizzi disease.
Yeah, Cocolizzi.
Yeah, through the Cocolizzi disease. I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Cocolizzi.
It was a disease. It was a what do they call it?
Pestilence.
A pestilence that the Most High put on our people to wipe out most of our people, because we were winning the fight. We were winning the battle against Esau. Every time when Esau came over, it wasn't that they just had a huge force that was strong. We had hundreds of millions in America at this time. They didn't bring hundreds of millions over from their ships, but the disease took us out.
And Cocolizzi is Nahuatl, right? The original language of the indigenous people for pestilence.
Yeah,
like the scripture says.
The strong burning. They say you die in like 7 days.
Yeah,
it's like Ebola. It's a quick death. Once you get it, there's no remedy, bro. You're done.
That's awesome, bro. That's in Deuteronomy 28.
Huh?
We read about
exactly. It's just another way the Most High. It wasn't playing. When he says he's going to have a troop overcome them, when he says he's going to have a people that came from strange language that you couldn't understand come overtake you, there was no way to get away from that judgment.
So you had the smallpox in the Americas. You had Cocolizzi in Central America and South America.
Yeah,
and then you had the bubonic plague in Europe, because our people inhabited Europe
out too. Yeah.
So, do you see a pattern?
Most High just it's all around the same time period too.
Yeah.
Same
all
time
around
period.
the same time.
COVID didn't do anything compared to Cocolizzi.
No, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
COVID took out 100 mil out.
COVID took out some people. It took some people out. It was pretty bad. But listen, Cocolizzi, everybody's dying.
Yeah, bro.
Smallpox, everybody's dying. Black plague, everybody's dying. Right? The Most High chopped these numbers down to allow these foreign invaders to conquer us because they couldn't handle us. But you know what? I don't care how physical you are. I don't care how military strategist you are. I don't care how dope you are with your blade and your weapons. I don't care how deep you are. If the Most High is against you because you forgot him, you're going to fall in battle.
Yeah.
All right? That doesn't mean you were done away with. It just means you were punished. All right? Let's keep reading.
I will scatter them.
Great point, bro.
I will scatter them as with an east wind before the enemy. I will show them the back.
I will do what?
I will show them the back.
I'm not going to sit here and care about you and care for you. I'm going to show you the back because we showed him the what?
Back.
We showed him the back. Read.
And not the face. In the day of their calamity.
In the day of their what?
Calamity.
Because what Israel wants to do when Ish hits the fan, quote unquote, that's when we want to start praying. That's when we start going back to church. That's when I got to remember God. But what did Proverbs 1:22 say, real quick? Just on your point. Because the Most High doesn't like this this conditional relationship that we like to have
with God.
If I'm good, Lord, then hey, if I'm bad, Lord, then I need to make a phone call, but just grant me this one thing, and I'll start serving you again. He doesn't play this game with us. Whether we're going to serve him or not, if we don't serve him, you got destruction. And when it's time for you to feel it, you're going to feel it. Read that, Proverbs 1:22.
Proverbs 1:22.
Yep.
How long, you simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
This is a question. How long are you going to continuously be anti-me? How long are you going to be simple? Loving the simple things in life. You know what loving the simple things in life is? I love my me time. I love being contrary. I love freedom to do what I want to do.
I love my flesh.
I love freedom to feel how I want to feel.
Mm-hmm.
I love freedom to talk how I want to talk. And you're going to listen to me because I feel like you should listen to me. Because I have my own perception of value. This is the most I call simple. How long are you going to love simplicity? And a scorner is just someone who is contrary to the Most High.
Constantly contrary.
Constantly
It's
contrary.
not just a person that's arguing. This person is always. That's all you do.
You're proud about being contrary. You're proud about not sitting here reading as much as you know you should. You're proud about having more free time than the ones who want to be disciplined in Christ. It says, how long are you going to hate knowledge? Read on. 23, sir.
23.
And read on, yeah.
I gotta read this, bro.
Yeah, what you got?
A scorner. One who scoffs at religion, its ordinances, and teachers.
Yeah.
Who makes a mock of sin and the judgments and threatenings of God.
Brother.
What?
That's like what's that rapper's name? Like Rick Ross. He's like, God forgives I don't not. He said, Father forgive me, I'm about to sin again.
Yeah.
But that's a scorner. Right? I'm telling you to your face, Lord, I'm gonna keep messing up. So
Yeah.
it's your time to forgive me. Yeah, Hobson, Kendrick Lamar did the same thing. All these guys do it.
He's holy for one album, man.
Brother.
Chance the Rapper.
Everybody is blasphemous and scorns the Most High and thinks he's gonna forget that and thinks you can get away with it.
Only God can judge me.
Only God can judge me. You're right, but you don't want the Lord's judgment. Not if you're a scorner. You don't want that judgment,
bro.
Read on.
23.
Yes, sir.
Come. Proverbs 1 and 23. Turn you at my reproof.
Turn you to my correction. Meaning what? When the Most High sends people to correct you, take heed of that.
Yeah.
Make an adjustment. Don't take too long to change your ways. Read.
Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you.
What does that mean? If you're not going to listen to my words, then when the Most High says, I'm going to pour my spirit onto you, what spirits are we talking about? How does he show his wrath? He says he has his angels express his wrath. Those spirits are them wind spirits, them hail spirits, them lightning strike spirits, them sword, them loose bullet spirits, them kidnap spirits, strong delusions. I was talking about the end result. Because these spirits that he's sending out, the strong delusion is when you're just scorning. I'm going to let you just be a scorner. But once you've gotten to that point and you don't want to change anymore, now I'm setting you up to die again. I'm tired of you.
Because there's no change.
I see no changes, that.
Because I have called, and ye refuse.
We did what?
Because I have called.
He called.
And ye refuse.
Most High hit your cell phone up out and you swipe right or left, whatever it was when you do it. You press the button out. You know what button brothers press. The brothers don't want to deal with brothers out. They're like this.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, the Most High been giving brothers signs out.
God,
The Most High gives brothers signs out. He talks to brothers. We have counsels. We have conversations. He has things that physically happen that are impossible things to happen. And you know the Most High is there, and we still swipe left, right?
I don't want to listen. The D&D. Do this.
Oh, man. Discipline? La'ah. I got to deal with my household right? La'ah. I got to break my flesh? La'ah. I got to submit to a grown-ass man that looks like me? La'ah. If it's a white man, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like a black man, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
If a Latino,
crazy,
I'm not going to do it.
That's crazy.
If a face is melaninated, is it kind of brown face? I'm not going to submit to no brown face.
You got more fear of losing your job than losing your salvation. That's
real.
madness. That's a strong delusion.
I'm a credit score. Not your salvation score.
Yeah.
Your credit score matters. That's how you know we keep deviating. Now, you might not bow to a physical idol, but you got all kind of different things you're tapped into that take preeminence over the Father. I love the point you're going into.
Read on.
God, because I have called, and ye refuse. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded.
You know what that means? The Most High took an extra step to reach out to you. He didn't just send somebody out there. He sent someone who's going to actually care about you and take the time to express why you need to change. Everybody needs a different element to convince them to love Christ. What the Most High did was he sent certain people to be that specific element for you. Some people need fire. They need to be charged up with fear. You're going to die if you don't change. Some people just need compassion. Just listen to my story, and I'm going to show you scripturally how this lines up with how the Most High is treating you.
I needed fire, bro. I need
fire is important.
Listen,
Doomsday, end of the world. That's a motivator.
I needed a drill sergeant 24 hours a day, bro.
Okay.
Blowing me up. I thought this is the truth. This is what the truth is? Like, this is the truth. I'm getting blown up every day.
Brother, that's real, that.
But you know what? I was thankful because they helped me crack that Jake shell I had on me.
Yeah.
We have this Jake shell, this Jake way of doing things, or this non-spiritual way of processing life. And some people can deal with fire. Some people can deal with water.
Yeah,
some people just need that, like you said, that compassion.
That compassion, that understanding mindset, that will give them clarity. It don't have to be one set way, but the Most High set people around you to fill that void that you're needing, to inspire you if you wanted it. Because we can't sit here and say the Most High didn't give me an opportunity. He didn't understand my stroke. He didn't know what. He didn't understand. This is why I act the way I act.
And how does this relate to the topic? As far as in the nationalistic perspective of Israel, he sent prophets.
Exactly.
That we killed. Yeah. Now you just got counselors. And brother ain't prophet, but brother are counselors.
The counselor, they'll show you biblically. This is what scribes do. I'm going to show you biblically what this means. What the Most High is telling you right now. People always go to these dream seers. They want to say, "What does this dream mean?" I don't know. Does this mean that it's over? I don't know if maybe we shouldn't be together anymore. I don't know. Well, we got people who can scripturally break down your lifestyle and your life events and show you this is what the Most High is telling you right now. Not just these vain dream seers. Not these people giving you false ideas.
No, you want
I'm giving you. You want all these. Yeah. You want someone. You want palm readers. I'm showing you right now what's gonna happen if you don't make these changes. Nah, you don't know what's going on. You don't understand the full story, though. Okay, to give me the full story. Nah, you ain't ready for the full story.
You didn't agree with
then you don't want salvation. You don't keep playing these games. You'll get the full story to somebody else. But you won't get the full story to someone who's actually going to help you and benefit your life. This is what he means when I reached my hand out for you, and you didn't answer. You didn't receive it. Read on.
Come. Because I have called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded.
And what does it mean to regard? Look that word up. Because we always kind of skip this point. But I like the vein you're in because it shows no man regarded. What does it mean to regard?
Regard. The 1828 Webster's Dictionary says to look towards, to point or be directed.
Man.
So when he said no man regarded, and you connect the definition of being directed, we get taught, but we don't allow ourselves to take heed and follow the instructions. We cannot be guided. I want to go there, but we fight guidance.
Oh, this is the contrary spirit. Give me Isaiah 30 verse 19 through 21. I love what you stopped at. It says to regard means to be pointed in the direction of. So what we're reading is the person who is just anti-Christ. And this person connects to Jeremiah 18, which says, in the day of your calamity, I'm going to turn my back on you. We're going to finish that. But the spirit we're supposed to be walking in is Isaiah 30 and verse 19. Read on.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 19. For the people shall dwell in Zion at Jerusalem. Thou shalt weep no more. He will be very gracious unto thee at the voice of thy cry.
Why? You know what? The Most High to the pure, he'll show himself pure. That cry isn't the cry of Proverbs 1.
Different cries.
It's a different cry. This is a cry of sincerity. This is a cry of a genuine person who wants to make change in their life, who's tired of messing up, who's tired of offending the Most High. And they're seeking out the Most High with earnest.
And I love the point. I'm going to keep on that one point a little bit more with what you're saying. Mm-hmm. There's different cries with a baby.
Okay.
For the mothers, there's the cry, I want milk.
Yep.
There's the cry, I'm hurt.
That's real, bro.
There's the cry, I'm
bored.
I'm agitated. Yeah. There's the cry, I'm bored, right? Yeah. The Most High is a good father.
Kinda.
And he knows each cry, and he responds to us based on the cries that are coming from his children. Just with that point you're going.
Kinda. Read on.
When he shall hear it, he will answer thee.
Now again, when we cry, the Most High gives us answers. For the person who's crying in insincerity, that answer is still going to be destruction. And you're going to have to just eat this. The person who's crying in sincerity, you might still have to eat adversity, but I'm going to give you hope. Because I know you're going to receive it and listen and take on to it. And regard it. And regard the hope. Because when I give you this hope, when I give you these counselors, when I give you this instruction, you're going to follow the path that you're being directed in. This is why only a small number of people actually regard information. That's why the churches be so small. Because most people don't really want to change. Yeah. What you got, Cry? Your point something?
Point number 3 in regard.
Okay.
to attend to with respect and estimation.
Stop right there. So I can't be directed, and I have no respect.
Exactly. Kinda. But I like number one because the reason why I like number one, it says to be pointed or directed. You're gonna know why. Keep reading in Isaiah.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 20. And though the Most High give you the bread of adversity.
No one is saying when you serve God, you're not gonna have adversity. You're always gonna be in a peaceful state of mind. You're gonna be living your quote unquote American dream or whatever dream you got in your mind. Yeah. You're going to still have to feel some heat. It don't matter if you're in Christ or not in Christ. But the point is, am I going to be feeling heat not in Christ? I got to feel heat in this life and after that, and after death? Or can I feel heat now and have glory and honor in the end? It says, this is the Most High's response. Though the Lord give you the bread of adversity, read.
And the water of affliction.
Read on.
Yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
Meaning, I'm not going to leave you hopeless. I'm going to have certain people give themselves up to being teachers, give their life up just to help you. Because you need it. Because you might not know it now, but you will need it in the future. This is what I'm going to do for you, because I know your cries are sincere. I know you actually want this help. What you got?
The Most High is not going to leave you without an answer.
Kinda.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's fair. So this cry, this sincere cry, is someone who's still looking for answers. And because you're looking for answers from me, I'm going to give you those answers. Read on.
But thine eyes shall see thy teachers.
And when you see them teachers, what are you supposed to be doing? Regarding the teachers that you get sent. Mm-hmm. How? Read on.
Verse 21. And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way. Walk ye in it.
What did regard mean? To be pointed or directed in a direction.
This is what
you're supposed to be doing.
All this extra thought and all this extra, I don't know what to do, and there's so many different options. No, you're given the option for you.
This is how you're supposed to walk. You're supposed to go over here, not over there. Stop straying away. You're walking off course right now. Yeah. Straighten up, tighten up. This is how you do it. This is what it means to regard. You're going to have specific instruction on how to walk. It's so technical. Even how you talk to your spouse will be directed. People think their spouse and their own interpersonal relationships is a closed off life from the truth. It's not. Everything is connected to the Most High. Even how you speak to your spouse, how you speak to your children, how you raise your children, how you teach your wife, is all going to be guided. Because if we didn't have it guided, we'd utterly corrupt ourselves. We'd partake in that 60 to 70% divorce rate that's going on around us.
That's crazy.
If it was up to us, we wouldn't make it last. If it's up to our own mindset, we corrupt ourselves.
We quit on each other.
Immediately. Because you know what? We're all natural born quitters.
Yeah.
We tend to the easier pathway. Now she get attitude. I can't do it. Now you ask, you know what? I can find someone better. Okay. You keep telling yourself that, and you're going to find yourself in a real lost situation. Yeah. With a bunch of gatos and a bunch of pedos in the house, and it's just you. Just keep it a buck. We see these people all day, every day. It's just sad and lonely.
Listen, they kind of keep the business going.
They do.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm okay with it. Look, because if you don't got a man in the house, you need someone to lift boxes for you. I'm okay with it. That's fine. Yeah. But if you're in this truth and you have God in your life, why live that path if you don't have to live that path? Yeah. Why put your children through that path if you don't have to do that?
Yeah.
Give them a better life that you didn't have. But you know the problem is, I don't want to regard to the teachers. Yeah. I don't want to regard to the instructions. I want to do me. Doing you is that Proverbs 1. We'll get back to them in a second. But this is what you're supposed to be doing. Keep reading.
God, verse 21. And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it.
So, because we rejected on a national level the correct direction, now we're voters. Because we rejected on a national level the correction of God, now we're sitting here Crips and Bloods. Now we're sitting here, we're academians, we're Republicans, we're Democrats. You know what I'm saying? We get sucked in these little vortexes. We're Kappas and Deltas and Betas and Thetas and
Every year, I always see these Facebook posts of it's like fraternity. It's like fraternity history month, something like that. 1909, 1901.
Oh, it's always 1909.
Like, come on, bro. Want to be Greeks up?
Yeah, we want to be Greeks. Yep. We want to be everything but Israelites.
This is the way.
And then the sad part is we pass it down to our children.
Kinda.
And this is why we got cast out the land.
Kinda, bro.
If we're not burning up our children, then we're passing down evil concepts to our children. Kinda. And they gotta get cursed. That's why you're chosen to be better and greater.
Kinda.
But the lesson we're learning is what? The Most High is trying to make us regard. He's trying to give us direction. Israel did not follow direction, so we were what? Punished.
This is what it means. He stretched out his hand.
But it doesn't mean we were done away with.
Kinda. And this shows we weren't done away with. You know what? Because those who didn't want to regard, you have answers. You have a direction you can walk. Mm-hmm. There's a clear and a plain path that you can walk on. Finish that up and go back to Proverbs 1. I know you got to get back on your.
No, it's all good.
Come. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 21. Uh-huh. And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way.
Yep.
Walk ye in it. When ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left.
So the clarity, you now have clarity in your life if you choose to regard it. But what do the simple ones do?
Read.
Go back to Proverbs 1 and 25.
Come. Proverbs 1 and 25. But ye have set at naught all my counsel.
What does it mean to set at naught?
Didn't consider.
I did not commit myself to the counsel.
Yeah.
I did not commit myself to the order. I did not commit myself to the change. He don't be overloaded us with too much stuff to change. He gives you one thing per year you got to really focus on. And if you don't do it, you got 2 things, 3 things per year. You be underwater out in the spirit. You be drowning.
Not. In the 1828 app, it says worthless or of no value or account. So when it says, ye have set at naught all my counsel, you establish and set the counsel as worthless. The marriage counsel was worthless. The brotherhood counsel was worthless. Your path to recovery of addiction was worthless. You decided this isn't needed for your life. What you got?
We didn't regard it. That's what it was.
Because I didn't consider it. I have someone in my ear telling me how to walk, giving me successful counsel. They're not giving me anything that didn't work for them, or it didn't work for the people in the Bible. But I didn't think it was needed. I got my own way.
When you look at regard 9 and 10, to notice favorably with acceptance, to hear and answer. Verse 11, point 11, to love and esteem. We don't love and value direction.
Kinda.
We don't accept direction.
You know what we say when we get directed? Stop treating like a child. Oh, the problem is in Matthew 18, Christ said, "If you're not as a child, you won't make the kingdom of heaven."
That's the funny part.
That's the funny part. So if you're not sincere like a child, then you won't make it. If you don't consider and you're not receptive or as receptive as a child, you won't make it. There's a reason why they say children can learn languages faster than adults. Children are extremely receptive. They take in as much, they process so much information. They catch up on the world in a short time span. They don't have preconceived notions and their own thought processes.
They're not debating all day.
They're not debating. They're not blocking the knowledge from interceding in their mind. You know why? Because they start from a clean slate. Can we start with a clean slate in Christ? So we're not having our previous lifestyles, our previous ways of thinking impede future growth. Our previous relationships impede future growth. Our previous ways of interacting with one another impede future growth.
And listen, he's asking for growth because we're going to grow out these curses. You got to grow out the curses, bro. The curses are over. Right? No, you got to grow out the curses, bro.
You got to.
If it says the mom and dad are going to get along, you got to learn how a mother and father should get along. That's what it says, right? If it says you're going to sit here and serve the slave master, then you got to serve him. But when your ways please the Lord, even your what?
Enemies
will be at peace. So I'm going to go this job, but I'm going to operate in the spirit of the Most High. So the Most High has his nations befriend me. Because I'm with the Father. I'm in order with the Most High. Everything we're doing is based off of rejection. That's how we got to the Americas.
Yeah.
We got to the Americas because we rejected the order, we rejected the prophets. And now we're in America, rejecting the council. We're repeating the same history. Ain't nowhere else to go. Ain't no other hemisphere to go to, bro.
Come on, bro.
Ain't no other place to go at.
No. Hey, you keep rejecting God, then he's going to turn his back on you. You see, the problem is, in the back of our minds, we can make as many mistakes as possible, and the Most High still cares about us. He cares so much, he will turn his back on you in hopes you change. Because you know what happens when he turns his back on you? That heat picks up. That sense of loneliness picks up. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you're praying and you feel like nobody's listening. I know I have before. When I slowed down on my dedication, when I stopped wanting to go to class, read the Bible as much, it's like you're just praying to the sky, and it's coming right back down.
Or you're doing all these sacrifices like the Aztecs and the Mayans.
Yeah.
And those sacrifices are not working.
Nothing has happened.
The conquistadors are still coming on the shore. Right?
Yep.
And for Judah, the cops still knocking on your door.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. House is still falling apart.
House still falling apart. Spirit's still dipping.
But you thought you was doing good, because you know what? The problem is, just because you do sacrifices doesn't mean that's the only thing the Most High wants. He says obedience is better than sacrifice.
So let's get real quick. Jeremiah 15, verse 6. You done with that?
No, I didn't get to the calamity.
All right, hit.
Yeah, I want to finish that real quick.
All right.
Yeah, we'll finish that in 25 and go to 26 real quick.
It's cool.
Proverbs 1:25. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof.
So you didn't listen to my counselors, and you didn't take heed to my reproofs, my corrections. Because the reproof is the small corrections before the actual destruction. There's a difference between reproof and calamity.
Adjustment.
Yep.
And car accident.
A reality check, and then that's it. That's the end of your reality.
Yeah.
Read on.
God, I also will laugh at your calamity.
You know what? Because when you become so anti, you become a spectacle to the angels, like Paul said. You're the laughing stock. You're the comic relief.
You're the laughing stock.
Look at this guy. This guy. Okay, he's anti-God. We don't make his life a living hell. How about that?
How you want me to get him?
How you want me to get him, Lord?
How you want me to
this way and that
get
way?
him? I can get where you want me to get him.
But it's gonna be set up so perfect to where you know it's got to be God.
Yeah.
It's got to be the Most High hidden. Yeah, when your calamity comes, I'm gonna be laughing at you because you pushed me that far.
Yeah.
I tried so much, and you decide you don't want me. Then I don't want you no more. Then you're irrelevant to me. I will laugh at your calamity when it cometh suddenly. Read.
God, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
Yo, when them tears is coming down, Lord help, please help me. Nah, bro. That's it, G.
You're praying to Allah. He's not helping you.
He's not helping you, brother.
You're
I don't know
praying
what
to
you
Buddha.
do.
He's not helping you. You're sitting here killing babies. He's not helping you. You're sitting here killing chickens and getting eggs and doing, I don't know, I don't know that stuff. I don't know that. Y'all know that?
No.
The grandmas be doing that. That's the grandma's wickedness. Grandmas be wicked too.
It's a Santa Maria. Grandma's is old wickedness.
They get the eggs out and they do what they gotta do. That's wickedness.
It's about I'm alive.
There's scary statues and those candles out. Scary candles out.
It's really like the altar. The altars be freaky, bro. The Santa Maria's everywhere. The Jesus,
so weird.
White Jesus.
The herbalerias.
The naked babies. I'm like, why you got so many naked babies in this house? What's going on, bro?
Listen, we move people like that out. It just be the weirdest.
The energy be just like
the statue be looking at you like. The statue just freezes up on you. And it's like, you gonna pick me up, bro? And I'm like, oh man. Come, we're gonna pick you up. We're gonna wrap you in some plastic.
Yeah.
Wrap these naked white babies in plastic out. And these evil statues out, these weird looking statues out. These evil saints. That's evil saints out.
Yeah, bro.
The saints just look evil. But our people will do anything but follow directions. Follow instructions. Take heed to reproof. To the point we gotta go to another world, another land.
In another world, we're gonna serve God this time.
Oh yeah,
come on.
We're gonna do that.
You can listen to counsel then. You gonna listen to counsel
That's
now?
Buffalo over here. I'm gonna serve God now.
Yeah.
Dad didn't do it.
Nah, bro. It's crazy.
That's
it.
Let's go to Jeremiah 15 and 6.
I don't know why I closed the book.
That was the spirit.
I'm done with the book. That's it.
The spirit.
Mic drop. That's it.
Listen, bro. Our people wonder why. They wonder why it's always hard. Because we make it hard.
Make it hard on us.
We make it hard. We make the brotherhood hard, the households hard. We make just basic day-to-day existence hard because we're fighting against wisdom. We're fighting against order as a nation. Read 15 and 6 verse of Jeremiah.
Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 6. Thou hast forsaken me, saith the Lord.
See, the most like Elijah went into. He knows how you feel about him based on how you operate in your life, how you treat your brother. How you treat your brother is how you feel about God.
Yeah.
Because the Most High created your brother.
Yeah.
But especially in Judah, there's a deep hatred for people like us that look like us. Like amongst Judah, I can say Judah especially. All we do is sing about killing each other.
God.
We sing about it. It's like entertainment.
Brag about it, huh?
We sing and we dance into genocidal music.
I don't know, man. I got 30 licks at Point Local the other day, bro.
Oh, word? Is it going to be going hard too? What?
30 licks at Point Local.
Oh, bro.
Crazy, bro.
I believe it. I believe it. We have a major issue with our brother. And so, guess what? This is why, listen, while we're hating our brother, the nations are, man, they're doing pretty good right now. Elam, Indians are doing great right now. They're almost doing better than white men, huh? They're almost doing better. These neighborhoods, these expensive neighborhoods, they're the new homeowners. Getting these nice dinner these baby mansions out. They're doing pretty good. They're blowing up India, right? All that scamming they was doing, and them phone scams paid off. Telephone scamming paid off. What they was doing? Technology and telephone scamming. We on?
God, thou hast forsaken me, saith the Lord. Thou art gone backward.
And all I want to say on this point, going backward means we regress back to your old ways. Or I'm supposed to be moving forward in my development, and I'm going backwards in my development. I'm regressing to old coping mechanisms. That's all Israel be doing is going to old coping mechanisms. That's our way of doing things.
And also the going backward is morally we set ourselves backwards.
Yeah.
When we start following the Most High.
Yeah.
We become the example of what not to do amongst societies.
Yeah.
Don't be like this people over here. Don't be like this, don't do this standard of living over here. We become the object of infamy, the object of reproach, the object of laughter, of jokes, of stereotypes, because we've forsaken the Most High. We don't.
We got to pull that scripture, bro. Knowledge and wisdom stability at times. We got to pull it.
Oh, Isaiah 33 and verse
Let's just pull it real quick.
6.
It'd be a good time to pull it.
Isaiah 33 and verse 16.
So we know that there's a
33 and 6. My fault.
There's a specific history showing how we got to the Americas. They're not done away with, but we forgot our true religion, our true culture, our true customs, our Constitution, which is the Bible, right?
Mm.
And we did because we were locked into our vices and we were stubborn as a nation, right?
Come.
But that does not mean we were done away with. This means we were punished. It just means we were simply punished. Read the scripture.
God, Isaiah 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge.
Wisdom and what?
And knowledge.
Wisdom is the correct application of knowledge or the correct decision towards a goal. Making the right choices, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Making the right choices and what?
Knowledge.
Knowledge is the scriptures, right?
God.
Read.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy tongue.
Is smallpox stability?
No.
Is all the buffaloes dying stability? Is crack cocaine stability? Is popping a whole bunch of prescriptions? Because now you don't gotta go to like a low level drug dealer. You can go to a doctor and get medication, right? We can just go get the plants and just be our own doctor. You know what brothers do, right? Brothers out the knowledge, they get their own plants. They try to be their own pharmacists, right? To cope with failure, to cope with mistakes. Read.
God. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy tongue.
So our stability is the testimonies of Christ and the commandments. Read.
And strength of salvation.
Key point is strength of salvation. So you can actually measure how much the Most High is with you based off how the Most High is saving you from bad conditions. What is he doing to not allow you to keep getting a worse condition? Or worse? I'm not saying financially. I'm talking about where your spirit's at, where your mind's at, where your conscience is at. The quality of mentality you have is based off how much you study. It's based off of the decisions you make and the choices you make. It's based off your ability to be obedient. Once you practice obedience and you study and you can follow direction, life gets way better. Your inner life, how you feeling, your inner conscious lightens up. The depression lightens up.
I love that point. There was a brother, I think it was Lakarob, on Wednesday, I believe, or Thursday, and he taught a class about how to get saved. And I think one of the verses he pulled, the first one he pulled, we all know this is 1 Peter 4:18, and it says, "The righteous shall scarcely be saved." Now, that's important to understand because this verse is saying, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of thy salvation. Knowledge, the accumulating information of how to please the Most High, is the first step. Wisdom being the application of that accumulated knowledge is how you get confidence, how you know, or how you make your calling and election sure. If you're on the threshold, you don't know if the Most High is going to deal with you or not, you don't know if you're going to make it, the more you implement what you know, the closer and the stronger you know you have a chance of making it. That is a measuring, that's a way we can measure how close we are to the Most High. How much of a chance we actually have of making the kingdom, even with all of our mistakes we made in our life. Are you applying what you know, even if you know a little? Are you applying that little? Or are you choosing not to apply because you think you got time in your hands? You think it's this little sin, this little mistake isn't that necessary, or the Most High doesn't care that much about this particular deficiency in my spirit. This little attitude I got, this little mouth I got on me, this sudden or this quiet quitting I do. Brothers be quiet quitting. When they're on their way out, the performance starts slowing down. They stop taking counsel. They don't want to hear nothing anymore.
Can't wake up.
They shut down. They can't wake up. They refuse instruction. These are little elements that we choose to allow because we think it's not that bad. And all of a sudden, when that calamity comes suddenly, we're confused. I thought we were doing good. I thought I was making steps.
Oh, why is it always this way?
Exactly.
Without the accountability. I want to pull this right here.
Yes, sir.
Ecclesiasticus 23 verse 2 and 3. This is showing a contrast to the knowledge and wisdom. Because it says knowledge and wisdom is your stability. Right? When the nation was keeping the commandments, when the nation was loving each other and treating each other properly, when the nation could take correction, when the nation had humility, when the nation let go of vices, we had a stable society. All right? But now we're going to deal with the contrary, or we're going to deal with the contrast of that same point. Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha, verse 2 and 3.
23, verse 2.
23, verse 2 and 3.
Ecclesiastes, chapter 23 and verse 2.
Matter of fact, read verse 1.
Verse 1. O Lord, Father and Governor of all my whole life.
Look at the way he thinks. Father is what? Guidance. Governor, which is what? Order, structure. Of my whole life, mean I'm not giving the Most High 30% or 40% of my life. I'm giving my entire day.
Yeah.
Read.
Leave me not to their counsels.
Read on.
And let me not fall by them.
Because we fell to the counsels of the nations. We fell to the religions of the nations. All right? Read on.
Who will set scourges over my thoughts?
Who will do what?
Who will set scourges over my thoughts?
So there's knowledge and wisdom. But there's a question. Who will set scourges over my what?
Thoughts.
A scourge is a whip. Who's going to whip my thoughts? Who's going to challenge my perspective? Read.
And the discipline of wisdom over mine heart.
Who's going to sit here and implement the right decision in my conscience, in my heart? Read.
That they spare me not for my ignorance.
The key point, spare me not for my what?
Ignorances.
We're all what?
Ignorant.
We're ignorant. What does the word ignorant mean?
Not knowing.
Unlearned.
Okay.
But why are we unlearned?
Because of how they do us.
Because we reject knowledge. It's because we reject knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Listen, we can say how they do us. We're the ones that get the scriptures and don't follow them.
Yeah.
White men didn't stop you from reading the Bible.
Not anymore.
Did the Klan come to your house and say you can't read the Bible?
He sure didn't promote it.
Brother, there's a Bible everywhere you go, bro.
We'll call it Muslim. We'll call it extreme. That's the old way of doing things. What about the new way of operating? That's how we reject. That's how we reject knowledge.
In my situation, I was really, I wasn't taught it.
Hey, you know what? The Most High has mercy on those particular cases. but that's not the majority.
But now that you know better,
I know that now.
since you know, have you been on point since you've known better?
I've been on point.
But see, a lot of us started in church, so it ain't like, look, if you
I
started
know, I
in
understand that,
church,
but I'm saying, are you making the changes?
if you started in church, you still had a little opening of the scriptures. You could have read it for yourself.
They never held me accountable for never reading.
Of course not, but you know what? but the Bible says, seek out thy own salvation with fear and trembling.
It's really if it's important to you.
How much you want it?
If somebody gives you, if you have a winning lottery ticket, and nobody gonna tell you go get that ticket, go get that money. You're still gonna get up and go get the money?
Come.
Are you gonna drive across town and stand in line and go through the process to claim your victory?
Good point. But
But if it's the Most High, oh man, it's all good, man. Whatever, bro. I'll do it one day, one of these days. It's what you value and what you care about.
But however, keep that there in mind. But now there's three types of people: one playing the game, one sitting and watching the game, and one that don't even know the game's going on.
That's facts. And that's called a curse. In Daniel 12, the Most High told Daniel to seal the books up. This is what Deuteronomy 28 was talking about, groping at noonday, searching for every wind of doctrine. Part of the curses for disobedience back then is you were going to be blind.
And ignorant.
You were going to see the scriptures and not know how to interpret any of it.
It says
This
the
is
spirit
words
of deep sleep
God.
has fallen upon the people.
God.
So in
Look,
short, I was saying
look.
I didn't even know the ticket was going on.
Well,
That happens.
How about this reincarnation? We've had this class, I think, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll drop it again. But you are your forefathers. We plan on talking about our forefathers. You're your forefathers. You have the knowledge.
Yeah.
You were in Solomon's temple.
It said the spirit of the prophets
saw Moses
are
die?
subject to the prophets.
You was in Egypt for a little while.
Hey, this knowledge blows my mind. Still, I've done that class.
Listen, we'll eventually get to it because we have to build these foundation topics back up. But the point is, I want to finish this point real quick so we can get back to our main theme. Read 2, the end of 2.
Come. It says, and it passed not by my sins, lest my ignorances increase.
And that's the key point. It's either knowledge and wisdom or ignorance. You have a choice. It's only 2 choices. Ignorance, I don't know any better, and I burn everything down, like our health and our families and our connections, right?
Yeah.
Or what? Knowledge and wisdom, which makes me responsible for everything I'm learning, responsible for everything I do, responsible for my own faculties. All right?
Yeah, because part of that ignorance is not knowing the severity behind your quote-unquote small mistakes.
Yeah.
Because what's small to us isn't small to the Most High.
Okay.
What the Most High judges is a major offense. You judge this is not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
This is how ignorances can increase. Because I think, I'm not that bad right now. I made a couple mistakes this week. That's normal. That's per usual. But I'll shake back. That's not how the Most High operates.
Right.
He's extremely angry.
Yeah.
You're thinking it's all good. That's the disconnect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Read on.
Now, I was going to say, people love to say, God gave us free will, but I guess.
What do we do with it?
Why is it mad? He gave me the choice to do it.
Listen, bro.
It's crazy.
The plant was there. You didn't have to make it into a crack rock.
Right.
You didn't have to make it into a crack rock, bro.
You never smoke it.
Listen, that plant is actually a good plant. The coca plant is actually a good plant. It's beneficial. If you use it the actual
Medicinally.
medicinal herbal doctor way.
The right way, kind.
But you want to sit there and put baking soda on it. That's not what the Bible says, huh? It said the herb was credited to be good. It was good. He credited all things it was good. He didn't say mix it with baking soda. We pervert good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read.
Yeah.
Come, verse 3. Lest mine ignorances increase, and my sins abound to my destruction.
Sin's another word for mistake, bro.
Yeah.
We go, I ain't sin. The word sin just means mistake. So, because I don't regard,
Yeah.
I make more mistakes.
Come.
Because I don't follow direction,
Yeah.
my quote-unquote mistakes abound to my own what?
Destruction.
My own destruction. Now you got smallpox blankets.
Yeah.
Now you have
Nice stability is shaken.
now your stability is shaken.
Yeah.
Now you have the feminist movement.
Yeah.
Now you have I don't know the term for the humanist movement, where everybody gets to do it, they do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
It's all good now. These cultures and ideas break down the fabric of your household.
Children get snatched up on the borders. It's happening to this day. It ain't
It's
just happening
sad,
back
too.
then.
Come.
It's sad. It's still happening.
But it's still happening. People are going. In 2020, 66,000 black women went missing. Hasn't even
said that.
happened. No one talks about it. That was in 2020. I ain't done the numbers in a while, but that was the last time I looked at it. Tens of thousands more people are going missing every year.
And nobody says anything.
Yeah.
Nobody does we'll cry for a rapper.
Yeah.
They get shot. Young Dolph, R.I.P. Young Dolph. We want R.I.P. the missing sisters.
Yeah.
The missing children.
Right.
So I don't need a man in the house. I can do what I want to do.
Okay, cool.
Well, then when men come in and snatch you up, you want one then.
You don't need no man.
That's a reality. You don't need a man then. But you INDEPE. I'm not gonna do all that. But you
And brothers too.
you know what it is.
There's independent brothers too.
That's true. Men get snatched up too.
Listen, bro, men
Ain't
get
just
snatched
women.
up too.
It's not just women, bro.
They snatching men, grown men up now.
Kinda.
Read? It's getting worse.
It says, and my sins abound to my destruction,
Read on.
and I fall before mine adversary.
Stop. You fall
God.
before the Spanish, the Dutch, the French, the Portuguese, the Spanish.
Yep.
Right? And there's some other ones too. If you're in Africa, you know the French was heavy over there. The French were heavy in Africa.
British.
The British dealt with Judah.
The
right?
Arabs dealt with us first.
Arabs
British sold us to the
Judah.
British.
And then Asher was dealing with
Not
the
German,
Portuguese. Issachar dealt with the Spaniards.
Yeah.
And the Portuguese, who else was it? It was Dutch.
Yeah.
The Dutch had what kind of trade? What was the trade of the Dutch? The Dutch had a trade too.
The Dutch had. Did they have Louisiana? No, that wasn't. That was the French.
A lot of that's in Africa, man. A lot of Israel that's in Africa was dealing with those weaker Edomite tribes. And then you have Amalek. And Amalek sold the slave ships. They have the receipts.
It's crazy.
So we're falling to our adversaries in battle as a nation. And then on a physical, everyday level, we're falling to addiction. Read.
And mine enemy rejoice over me.
Read on.
And they love when we fall to addiction.
Yeah.
They love talking about how we addicted to crack, we addicted to liquor, we addicted to I don't know what's the new one now. Fentanyl's the new one now.
Yeah.
They only make changes. They only make laws when their children are being affected.
Yeah.
When the Jews became an epidemic amongst white America, that's when they changed the law.
Let's
We
fix
can no longer have Jews for under 18, for under 21. Because it was destroying white American lungs. They were like, nah, we can't have this. This is too much. It's crazy. When it was crack, so whatever. It's whatever. It's all right. When it was cocaine, it's all right.
When it was heroin, you got
Heroin.
Issachar downtown to this
Man.
day. You can just drive downtown at 3 or 4 o'clock, right there on Frio Street, bro.
Yeah.
And people are asleep, like not because they're tired.
No, bro.
It's the heroin.
It's strung out, bro.
They're the sun, because the sun be like 105 degrees, bro, and they're straight burning in the sun, sleeping in the sun, and you can just see like row after row after row, all knotted off the heroin.
All right.
But how do we get in this position? Is the Most High unfair, or did we reject the Most High? And I will forget your children, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do away with us though?
No.
No. But there are consequences for rejecting God.
Okay.
Read on.
It says, and my enemy rejoice over me, whose hope is far from thy mercy.
Because they wish the worst. They wish the worst for us, not the best. So now, let's go back to Jeremiah 15, verse 6. Huh?
Go back there.
Okay.
Cool.
Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 6.
It's going to have to be.
Okay.
Thou hast forsaken
Or
me,
not.
saith
Yeah,
the Lord.
Uh-huh.
Thou art gone backward. Therefore will I stretch out my hand against thee.
And we kept going backward. We kept going back to Egypt. Thou cover the covering, but not of my spirit. Read.
And destroy thee.
Uh-huh.
I am weary with repenting.
He's getting tired of the Salakis and the I'm sorry's. How many Salakis did Gad do? I know Judah's Salakis. Anytime something bad happens, Judah go right back to church. Get that tambourine out. Start banging the tambourine and singing. And then right after Sunday is over with, back to cigarettes.
Yeah.
Back to the same routine. We're just righteous for like one day out the week. When the music's good and the food is good,
It's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours where you'll be on point.
and 2.5 hours of good music and a lot of praying, and then by Wednesday, by Tuesday, we're back to the same negative.
Yeah.
And this is amongst, I know just Judah. I wasn't Catholic. Any Catholics in the house? Was it the same thing in Catholicism?
Same thing. Bunch of different idols, bunch of different repetitive prayers.
It's the constant repetition of being back and forth.
Look, the Catholics I knew was going hard. I ain't gonna lie. They'll be in their church, but they were going hard. It was the hardest ones. It was going hard, bro. But that was in my particular part of the city. It was Issachar, Catholic Issachar, man. So they go hard too, bro. Ain't just Judah, man. Ain't.
But it's so I'm just trying to harp on Judah because let's say I don't harp on Judah enough, man. Which I do.
Not as much as Gad.
I do.
Gad.
No, I don't. I'm
and Benjamin.
Judah's out of spirit. Judah be out of spirit. So I'm weary with repenting. He's tired of the constant repenting. So he has to keep us under the foot of these devils, of these nations. All right? Let's go to Lamentations 2:1.
Tired of being tired.
Yeah. Now we know why we were punished, right? Do we know why now? All right, we know why.
Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
How hath the Most High covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger?
So now our women got to suffer too.
Yeah.
If the men ain't on point, who suffers next?
Women.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
When the men ain't on point, the women have to suffer too.
Okay.
And if the woman suffers, who suffers after that?
Children.
The children. Read.
And cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel.
So the beauty of our households, the beauty of our nation was cast down to earth, meaning we went to a lower state. Read.
And remember not his footstool in the day of his anger.
Read on.
The Most High has swallowed up all the habitations of Jacob and have not pitied.
All the habitations of Jacob was our cities. We're not Brooklyn and Houston's not our city yet.
Yeah.
we actually had cities that we were our origin points.
Okay.
Shiloh, Bethel, right? Jerusalem.
Okay.
These are our cities. Read.
He hath thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughter of Judah.
So the strongholds, the protection of the daughter of Judah was thrown down. That's why our women are wild, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Our women are really destroyed right now.
Okay.
They don't have any protection. It's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
There's no real guidance for our women.
Yeah.
If you look on a national perspective, and if you have family members that are going through different things, you have testimonies about what our women are going through as a nation.
Okay.
So when we're off, it affects everybody. The men, the women, and the children. Everybody got destroyed. Read.
He hath polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof.
Uh-huh.
He hath cut off in his fierce anger all the horn of Israel.
The horn means strength or protection.
Okay.
The horn means strength or protection. Read.
He hath drawn back his right hand from before the enemy, and he burned against Jacob like a flaming fire, which devoured round about.
The Most High burned like a fire. And literally, the last Shabbat class we had, talking about the city getting caught on fire.
Yeah.
The temple getting caught on fire. The nation being set on fire. Read.
Okay. Verse 4. He hath bent his bow like an enemy.
Read on.
He stood with his right hand as an adversary.
So the Most High said, listen, I'm going to be your enemy then. So you don't want to follow me? Then I'll be your enemy. I'll be your adversary. We'll go to battle then. Read on.
And slew all that were pleasant to the eye in the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion.
So all that were pleasant to the eye means the things that you work for, bro. The people you care about. See, what we don't really acknowledge is that when we're off, if you don't get hit, your people get hit.
Yeah.
So brothers be tripping. Brothers be like, oh man, I don't give a damn. Most High sting me, whatever. I'm man enough. I can handle it.
Yep.
You can't. Listen, bro. I tell brothers every time. So you can tough if you want, bro. Most High might not touch you right.
No.
He might touch your mom.
Yeah.
He might touch your kids out. He might touch your rib. He gonna touch what you care about. Since you don't give a damn about you, brothers, I don't care about me. I don't really care. Okay, brother, you gonna watch your people suffer because of you.
Yeah.
Read.
Come.
Because you won't fight. Because you won't obey.
Yeah.
Because you won't regard.
Come.
Read. Because you want to be ignorant. Read.
He poured out his fury like fire. The Most High was an enemy. He has swallowed up Israel. He has swallowed up all her palaces.
All of our history and our palaces, where is it at now? All of our treasures are in treasure cities. They're in underground treasure cities where Edomites are taking pictures. There's cities that they're places that you can't even go take cameras.
Yeah.
Read.
It says, and have increased in the daughter of Judah mourning and lamentation. And he hath violently
taking away his
So
tabernacle.
I gotta hit this point right here because the internet all talks about. Now I'm a little guilty on this. All the internet talks about is how black women ain't this and black women ain't that, bro. Black women ain't this. I mean, and Issachar went too. They be right behind Judah. Right behind Judah. Everybody want to follow Judah. Right? In native. Right? Listen, bro, we talk about how our women are off and our women are wicked. And I get it. They're wicked. You go to the world star and see they're wicked. But the question is, why are they wicked? Why?
Yeah.
Why are they wicked? Brother, we gotta be honest. We gotta stop lying. We didn't keep the Most High's order, so he turned our women against us.
Yeah.
The woman that was delicate
Tender among them.
and tender among you, who had not advanced the sole of her foot to touch the ground, shall be what?
Wow. Let's
Let's get it. Let's get it real quick, just to prove it.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse.
You want to hold this up?
Hold it.
20,
But I had to pull this point because this is a major topic online.
verse 56.
There's like 1,000 channels on this topic.
Deuteronomy 28 and 56.
Uh-huh.
The tender and delicate woman among you,
Uh-huh.
which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness.
And a lot of us, I'm going to go a different angle. A lot of us came from single parent mothers.
Yeah.
So mama had to be the man and the woman. My mama having to be hard as hell. My mama had to be hard. She had to hold it down, bro. My mama had a good job. Mom was paid out, but she had to go to war. She had to go to war with a lot. She had to do above and beyond a mama's duty. And I'm pretty sure brothers that have been raised by single parents conditions, mama had to be the disciplinarian and she had to be the nurturer. Then she had to be the worker. And then she had to be the problem solver. And she got to be the thinker. And then if the mom fails, they become the drinker. They become the party goer. They become the escapist. That's a sign that they can't have that position. Read.
Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom.
And it ends up creating what? Divorces in the household. Or baby mama, baby daddy drama. Right? Read on.
And toward her son.
And towards her what?
Her son.
And this is the stories that brothers be having. The mama didn't get along with the kids and the constant fighting and arguing. But this is all part of us not really playing our role as men and being those priests. Read.
And toward her daughter.
And then the daughter absorbs the mother's wickedness. Whatever the mother's coping mechanisms are, whether it's drinking or smoking, the daughters emulate the mother's negative. It's a vicious cycle, but it goes back to Hosea 4 and 6, where it says, "Thou shalt be no priest unto me." If we're not priests, we're opening up our households to what? Idolatry. Familial curses. And then we have another failed generation. Do you see the cycle? Now, I'm not saying he doesn't love us. What I'm trying to show you is that we're perpetuating our own destruction through ignorance and through impiety and through not regarding. And so he has to keep making it worse. How bad is it to get for us to get right as a nation? How bad is it to get before the men take accountability and the women take accountability and the family unit or the children take accountability? All right? And we go back under the scriptures. Not Catholicism, not Baptist, not Catholic, not Mormon, not Jehovah's Witness. There's a lot of those stuff, man. It's a lot of them, bro. Seventh-day Adventists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. Or just straight, I'm an atheist. Right?
Yeah.
Those premises create broken households and invite more curses. And that's why that gives people the door to say, this is why you guys are in a low estate. You're not the Jew. Look at how you're living. You're on the bottom. You can't be the Jew. How are you the Jew? The Jews are out there living good. They're winning the war right now with Hamas. They own the diamonds. They own the banks. They're the Jews. They're the ones guys with because they're living better than you.
Yeah.
When in reality, the true Jews are under punishments because they're dealing with rebellion. And you're that chosen generation to break all those curses. If you just, like Elisha went into, face what you're told to face and commit to your counsels. Mm-hmm. And commit to the order. And commit to decency and the testimonies. And commit to study ethic. and then reject your own excuses. That's the inner man element that we were missing as a nation. But we were just basically missing straight respect. You gotta worship idols, huh? You gotta kill your babies. Why would the Most High defend us in war if we're living like that? Mm-hmm. Then you're building temples, all the Issachar temples, all the Gadite temples, just to the sun god, which is Ra or Baal. Why can't we worship the God of heaven and earth? Why do we have to worship a physical object? Because we have impiety towards God. We want to worship gods we can see. We want to be like everybody else. This is why we got put at a lower state. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean we're destroyed completely or we forgot about this. All right? Completely. Let's go back to our scripture. Where we at? Lamentations?
Yeah, come.
Let's finish it up.
Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 6. And he had violently taken away his tabernacle.
So the violently taking away his tabernacle, what is that? It's all the histories of the Spaniards, the English, the French, and the Dutch conquering the tribes, the indigenous peoples of the earth. Y'all have the history, right? Well, maybe I have to teach it again. You gotta teach it again. If I have to pull the histories out and show how they conquered individually all the different tribes.
Yeah.
All right? We'll probably have to pull it out.
Were you given a definition of tabernacle?
Yeah, tabernacle means home.
Okay.
All right? So you're going to take away that tabernacle, which is your home.
Mm-hmm.
Gad lost their home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Read on?
Come.
And their sanctuaries, too. But we had wicked sanctuaries because we had groves. So,
Okay.
read on?
And he had violently taken away his tabernacle, as if it were of a garden. He hath destroyed his places of the assembly. The Most High have caused the solemn feasts and the Sabbaths to be forgotten in Zion, and have despised in the indignation of his anger the king and the priest.
So the priests and the kings, ain't no more kings, and ain't no more priests amongst our people. Except for now, because he brought us back. He brought the priests back to teach. Read. Or men that are trying to be priests. Read.
The Most High have cast off his altar. He have abhorred his sanctuary.
Because we were in the sanctuary smoking weed.
Yeah.
When you read about it, we were in the sanctuary puffing incense.
Yeah.
And if you go to the archaeology, they go to the actual sites. And you go and they scrape the actual, what's that stuff? The ash, the resin. And the resin is frankincense, myrrh, and weed. Literally.
Yeah.
We're off, bro. Read.
Come. He have given up into the hand of the enemy the walls of her palaces. They have made a noise in the house of the Most High, as in the day of a solemn feast.
Real?
The Most High have proposed to destroy the wall of the daughter of Zion. He has stretched out a line. He have not withdrawn his hand from destroying.
So we ask, why are we going through what we're going through? And why does our life suck? And why do we have this shitty life? This is the reason why right here. That was the echo, the generational echo of that correction.
Yeah.
That it's our responsibility to fix it. Read on.
Therefore, he made the rampart and the wall to lament. They languished together.
So the rampart and the wall to lament. The wall's protection, the rampart, we got to look it up. I'm not going to look it up, but I want to say something and just skip over that point. What is the rampart? The fortification.
Yeah.
The elevation or mound of the earth. So,
right here,
yeah.
A defensive wall of a castle or walled city.
So there's no protection, bro. There's another form of protection. Yeah. No one's protecting me. I'm not protected. I don't feel protected. What's a big thing online right now? What do they say? Come on, bro. On a societal level. Right? They say our women don't feel protected. Right? We're reading why. The young men aren't protected. Because they know fathers in the home. Now we know why. It all comes from us withdrawing from that priesthood. And from that standard. Alright? Alright, so now we're going to Malachi 3 and 6. I want to end it on a good note, so I'm trying to get past all this destruction. Huh? It's ended with a cherry on top. Huh?
Everybody walks out.
No, we can't end it with a cherry on top. Huh?
That's when everybody walk
I'm
out.
ending it with a cherry on top today.
Everybody
Huh?
walk out quiet.
No, we're going to end it with a cherry on top today. Huh? Let's go.
Malachi chapter 3 and verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed.
That's the hope. That's the hope.
That's the good news.
Hope. There's hope for the Jews.
Yes, Lord.
There's hope for us. Huh?
Our heads back.
It's not eternal jail. Huh? It's not eternal destruction. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob, talking to the men, because the men come first, right?
God.
Ye sons of Jacob are not what? Consumed. You might have been destroyed, but you weren't what?
Consumed.
Consumed. You were what? Punished,
Yeah.
but you weren't what? Done away with.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't what? I don't change. So what's he really saying? I didn't forget you, bro.
He didn't give up on them.
But I had to whoop you to the point of death, though.
Yeah.
To put that, I had to send a message. Remember, the whooping is the direct equivalence of the intensity of the negative. Because the scripture says the Lord hates a false balance.
Yep.
He hates unfairness. So that the whooping that we got as a nation was equivalent to the negative we did as a nation. The whooping we get as individuals is equivalent to the whooping that we deserve for our stubbornness.
Yeah.
If you're really honest with yourself, and you look in the mirror, you know you're stubborn. I know I'm stubborn. We're all stubborn. Maybe it don't admit it. How many counsels do you not follow? All I do is ask, bro, what's the last thing we were told to do? So I was like, that's how you beat him every time. Oh, really? Your report on what were you told to do last week? I don't remember. That's the point. We just read the scripture about there's somebody in the behind your head saying this is the way, walking in it. And bro don't remember what the counsel was. What was the counsel, Lot? I don't know. Then you jog his memory. What was the counsel, Lot? It was to do this. Did you do that? La'ah. Of course. Of course it's la'ah. This is why it's getting worse. But not to destroy you, though.
Yeah.
It's not to destroy us. It's to wake us up.
Right.
Let me read it one more time.
Yeah.
Because I got to put some hope in this house. Huh? Read it again.
Malachi chapter 3 and verse 6. For I am the Lord.
He's the Lord. He's almighty, all powerful. White man can't fight God. He can't fight a hurricane and a whirlwind. Read.
I change not.
I do what?
I change not.
He still loves Israel. They're still the chosen people. They're still Esau's the end of the world, but Jacob's still the what? The beginning of the world. You still have a future. Read.
Therefore, you sons of Jacob,
These sons of Jacob are what?
not
You
consumed.
are not completely destroyed. We got to harp on that. It's not over for Israel, huh? All that Aztec history, all that Mayan history, all that Negro history, all that Haitian history, that was the fear of the Lord. Didn't we just read it?
Yeah, kind of.
We just read it. Jacob waxed fat and kicked. We had it all. We had it all. We had gold walls, gold blessings, orchards, vineyards. We had wine. We had dads in the house. We had fathers.
Yeah.
Now we're where we're at. But guess what? We have the knowledge now. The knowledge is gonna what? Bring you back to life. Right?
Yeah.
My word is spirit, my words are life. Right? So the scriptures, not my words, the scripture says that, right?
Yeah, kind of.
These words are spirit and these words are life.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ezekiel 39, verse 25. Hard for this, man. Hit that point. You got that.
Kind of. Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 25.
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of. Ezekiel chapter 39 verse 25. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob.
And what that means is, instead of you being captives of the nations, I'm going to bring you back from that estate. I'm going to bring you back under my hedge as a hen with her chickens.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you feel safe and comfortable again. My walls will be called salvation. That's what that means. Read on.
And have mercy upon the whole house of Israel. and will be jealous for my holy name.
Uh-huh.
After that, they have borne their shame.
He said, I will be jealous
Yeah.
of my holy name. Man, I'm going to teach you again.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you to know my name again.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. It says, and I have mercy on the whole house of Israel.
Yeah.
Meaning, I'm here for you. I'm still about you. You're still first priority. But you had to feel that. You had to feel the correction. You had to be brought low to break your pride. But I'm still working with you.
Yeah.
It says, after that, they've borne their shame. Because the shame is realizing how out of pocket we really were with the Most High. And how, even though we were so out of pocket, He's still with us. He still cares about us. He still loves us. Read on.
And all their trespasses, whereby they have trespassed against me.
What it also means is you're going to remember your offenses. And He's going to make you remember those offenses. Just so you know, this is where you once were, and this is where I'm going to bring you.
Yeah.
Read on.
When they dwell safely in their land, and none made them afraid.
It's going to be like it used to be, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
We could leave your doors open.
Leave your garage open.
Leave your garage open. Your kids can play in the front yard. I be seeing people with their kids in the front yard, like the parents out there, like, bro, you better get these kids in the house.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to be back to where we can actually have our families be around and have gatherings and have connections, have bonds again.
Come.
The world's so messed up, it's hard to have bonds. It's hard to even connect people. Read.
When I had brought them again from the people and gathered them out of their enemies.
What does that mean? What does that mean right there?
We're going to come out of slavery. We're going to come out of bondage.
Yeah.
We'll come out of low state.
What's
He's going to bring
proves-
us back.
What scripture proves that? Is that Jeremiah 23, I believe? North Country?
Yeah, but bring out the north.
Let's go
Yeah.
pull it.
Okay. Jeremiah 23. And I want to say it's verse 23.
Yep. 23 and 8.
Oh, it's verse 8. Yeah.
We can go to 31 and 8, though. Yep, let's go to 31 and 8. Jeremiah 31 and verse 8. It really connects to that point. This precept connects to the point we just read.
Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 8. Behold, I will bring them from the north country.
Matter of fact, read verse 7.
For thus saith the Lord, sing with gladness for Jacob.
So now it was saying, sing for Jacob. Be joyous. Read.
And shout among the chief of the nations.
Read.
Publish ye, praise ye, and say, O Lord, save thy people.
Save thy people. Save your nation. Read.
The remnant of Israel.
And like I said, again in class, Elisha was talking about all Israel's not Israel, right? It's about the bloodline, but you got to live a certain caliber lifestyle and take heed to these counsels, take heed to these commandments, these orders, these testimonies, and have the mind of Christ. That's the counsel. The counsel take on the mind of Christ. You got to submit to Christ. And then we get that salvation. Read.
Behold, I will bring them from the north country.
Read on.
And gather them from the coasts of the earth.
The north country is what?
North America.
North America.
Okay.
Where did the 9.5 tribes go to?
North America.
North, South, and Central America.
Okay.
Read.
And with them the blind and the lame.
With them from the what?
The blind and the lame.
The blind, the lame. Read on.
The woman with child.
And the woman with the child. Read.
And her that travaileth with child together.
Read on.
A great company shall return thither.
Read on.
There shall come with weeping, and with supplications will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of the waters in the straight way, wherein they shall not stumble.
You'll get the rivers of water in a straight way. Life will be simplified. It won't be complicated, bro. It won't be some big mystery. Keep these commandments. Follow Christ. Follow the strongest example. You're an Israelite. Read.
For I am a father to Israel.
He's a father to who?
Israel.
He's a guide, a leader, a director, and a protector to who?
Israel.
The Israelites, the so-called Mexicans, Argentinians, Brazilians, Seminole Indians, North American Indians, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Central Americans, Dominicans, Haitians, West Indians, and so-called Negroes. He's their father. Go back to Ezekiel. Where were you at?
Con.
You left off at?
Yeah, 27.
Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 27. When I have brought them again from the people and gathered them out of their enemies' lands, and I am sanctified in them in the sight of many nations.
In the sight of what?
Yeah.
In the sight of many nations.
Meaning what? The nations who've oppressed us, who talked down on us, made us feel small, less than, are also going to see the glory in how he puts us over them.
Yeah.
And how he actually feels about us. They're going to be astonished at the strangeness of our salvation. Because it's going to be real strange when the people they've been talking about, clowning, making jokes on, are God's chosen people. Because that's not the narrative. That's not what society is teaching. I'm going to show all the heathen who my chosen are. Read on.
Then shall they know that I am the Most High, their power.
It ain't going to be no mystery no more that Christ is black. Ain't going to be no mystery more that he's here for black, brown people. Who they've been talking and clowning on. Who've been calling aliens in their own land.
Yeah.
Kicking out, taking their children.
Claiming the worst land in the states.
The
worst territories.
It won't be a secret then. Read on.
Which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen. But I gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more there.
We'll get to go back to our kingdom. We'll get to go back to our own sovereign land and live our own laws.
So this is a physical salvation.
Yes. It is a physical. It's not just a spiritual salvation. A spiritual reawakening. That happens too. But there's a physical adjustment. There's going to be a world order that's going to take place that changed our current life living circumstances. Dynamic, exactly. Read on.
Neither will I hide my face any more from them.
And what's that talking about?
Well, remember, it's my back on y'all. Y'all are slipping. We don't take hold to reproof. Take hold of that counsel. He turns back on you. I wanted to pull this because it goes right into that. Because what it shows is Christ still came back. Mm-hmm. Even with all of our offenses, he still came back at the end. Jeremiah 30 and verse 11. It shows what type of power he is, and it shows his level of love for us. Jeremiah 30 and verse 11.
Jeremiah 30 and 11. For I am with thee.
He says, I am with thee. This is still good news. I'm with you. I haven't forgotten.
This is the gospel.
This is the gospel. It's okay to feel good about being an Israelite. God still loves you, even though you make mistakes. Read on.
Says, for I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee.
He's here to save us, to get us out of our low predicament, to bring us out of our land of our enemies, and put us in our own land. Read on.
For I make full end of all nations. Though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee.
What does that mean? Every nation has to finish their course out. They're in power for a time and for a reason. They're playing a role. He says, I'm still going to make a full end to all these nations because of what they've done to you. Read on.
Yet will I not make a full end of thee.
But we're special. Contrary to the nations who are going to have their full end, we still get to rise up again. We still have another opportunity to serve him and be back on top. Read on.
But I will correct thee in measure.
But he still corrects us in measure. He weighs out what we've done wrong, and he gives us a perfect answer that corresponds, or a perfect judgment that corresponds with that offense. That's what Dariah was going in earlier. Depending on your offense will depend on the severity of your punishment. Depending on the consistency of your defenses, and depending on the spirit in your which the pride that you roll in while you're offending, you get your results or your punishments measured. Read on.
And will not leave thee altogether unpunished.
So although he's here to save us, he still has to sting us for our offenses, because contrary to the nations, he doesn't let us get to the point where we offend so much where he cuts us off forever.
But does that mean that we're done away with?
And that's the point. So he doesn't let us be cast away forever. This is his mercy.
He said you're going to get punished, but you ain't going to be done away with forever.
God, I'm going to come back.
I'm not going to make a full end, right?
Yeah, I'm here to save you. I'm here to save you, but I have to hit you. I have to correct you. I have to sting you. So you learn your lesson.
You asked for it.
You asked for it. But it's still for your betterment. So we were going earlier. Without the correction, How do we know that we're slipping? How do we know that we're off with the Most High if we're not getting stunk?
You gotta hit verse 10 up. Verse 10 kills it out.
We don't. Verse 10.
Verse 10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord. Neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return.
So it says, fear not. Meaning what? This predicament is not going to last forever. There's hope. There's good news. He says, I will save thee from afar off. Wherever you've been scattered, I'm going to pull you back together and bring you back into your homeland.
And for the individuals, because remember, the Most High deals with is that we're judged as a nation and we're judged as individuals on both scales. And if you have a household, you're judged as a unit in your house. You're judged as your unit, your household, your nation, and you as a man or woman. He judges us on 3 levels. Okay? What this shows right here is that if you're going to save us from afar, and we're going to have these adversaries, these enemies, on an internal level, you're not going to be depressed anymore.
Yeah.
You're not going to sit here and have this conscience that constantly derides you and breaks you down.
Yeah.
Your habits that have made you weak, you're going to overcome those habits. Those addictions that really tie you down and you're a slave to, you're going to break the chains of addiction. You're going to break the chains of addiction. You're going to break the chains of a negative conscience. You're going to overcome ignorance if you commit to studying. You're going to learn obedience or lose it all if you want. How much you want to lose, bro? But if you obey, he'll build you back up. The Father is willing to build us back up. And for those of us that feel like the Most High never cared, he will make it apparent that he cares.
Okay. He says, and Jacob shall return. But when they return, like Dario was bringing out, what state of mind they return in? Read on.
And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest.
When you look at the definition of rest, it means no longer agitated or have anxiety.
Exactly.
One of the major problems that we have as a people is we're extremely anxious.
Yeah.
He says, so when you return, the state of mind you're going to be in is a peaceful state of mind, without worry, without concern, without stress.
Calm.
Because the stress and anxiety also causes physical ailments in us.
It intensifies the complexes we deal with.
Calm. It lowers our health.
Yeah.
It lowers our state of mind. It lowers our, first off, with high anxiety, you can actually make yourself extremely sick. Constantly worrying, constantly being stressed out. That will bring your body to sickness. Because you know what? Your body's telling you, you need to slow down.
Cortisol, yeah.
And take some time for yourself. This is too much. Whatever you're doing right now, whatever state of mind you're in right now, is too much. I'm going to forcefully shut you off. But when you're with Christ, and when he brings us back, we're no longer going to feel that stress, that anxiety anymore. Read on.
And shall be in rest and be quiet.
Be quiet is peaceable. Calm, again, not agitated.
If you value peace.
Tranquility.
It's security. You'll have how much of us will actually have a state of security? We feel secure not only in our relationship with God, but also in ourselves. Do we feel secure in ourselves? Do we feel safe? Do we feel sane? You'll be in a state of security. Do you feel safe?
You have real confidence, and won't be based off that idolatry confidence.
Jake has confidence in that gun.
Yeah.
That's not. Look, that's called not agitation. That's called paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
Where you gotta constantly keep a weapon on you because you just feel like someone's out to get you. That's not a state of peace of mind. Well, I have to carry mace around me or little pocket knives because I feel like someone's over me or someone's watching me or the worst could happen to me. We won't be in that state of mind anymore. We won't have to fear for our children. That's the major one.
That's the major one.
If it's not about us, it's about our children.
Hell yeah.
Having to worry about our daughters or about our sons. And it's even more corrupt world than it was when we were kids.
Way worse.
You will no longer be in that state of mind.
All right. Look, we got to pull the verse. 28 and 65. And the Deuteronomy. Yeah, I got to pull it. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 65.
Gun.
He's trying to reverse these curses and get you past these conditions.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 65. And among these nations shall thou find no ease.
No ease. Like Elisha was elaborating. Read.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
All you're going to do is be grinding. You're going to be grinding every day, all day.
Yeah.
To pay bills.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
But the Most High shall give thee there a trembling heart.
A fragile mind. A trembling heart is a fragile mind. Read.
And failing of eyes.
Failing of eyes is hopelessness.
Yeah.
I don't see my life working out. Read.
And sorrow of mind.
Depression and psychological trauma. Read.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
Read on.
And thou shalt fear day and night.
Constant anxiety and constant stress is a product of fear. Read.
And shall have no assurance of thy life.
Assurance means that you have confidence of your life. It's going to end well. Or it's going to be okay. That's a cursed condition. If you feel that way, you're still operating in the curses. So what level of degree of submission do you have to go to get the Father to lift that condition off of you and off your people as an individual? And what degree of submission do we have to go to for the Most High to lift that condition off of our nation as a group?
Yeah.
And what do we have to do as governors of our home for the Most High to take that spirit out of our household? We got to submit. All right? There's more to the class, but this is the topic of Israel's not done away with. We were kicked out of our homeland, taken to Assyrian Empire, the Assyrian Empire. But from that point, we went to the Western Hemisphere and brought those sins and idolatry with us. And the Most High brought the European nations to conquer our nation and extract wealth from us and abuse us till this current day. But the Most High has woken us up and given us His word and said, I'm not going to consume you. These curses are starting to come off of us. And how do you know the curses are coming off? Because you're getting the knowledge of God. He said he's going to defend His name. We got to know His name first to defend it.
Yeah.
You got to know you're an Israelite. You got to know what tribe you come from. You got to know the commandments. You got to know the orders of Christ. You got to know the mind of Christ. You're going to have to sit here and be challenged to walk in that righteous path. You're going to be given an environment to exercise your spiritual muscles. You're going to be given an environment to exercise your charity and sharpen your spirit. Is that clear? So you can perform the book. All right? So that's it for now. The water for coming through. Shabbat Shalom. We'll be back tomorrow. Another class. Thank you for on Friday. We're kind of going on these basic points. I might not do it next Friday. I don't know. Maybe Kyle Collins. He probably teach on Friday, right?
Nah, is it this week? I think it's actually it might be.
It might be Kyle Cobb. You know, he gonna hit some fire prophecy.
It will be.
Yeah,
that's the last Friday of the month.
Yeah,
So
Kyle Cobb's always gonna go hard in prophecy.
It's crazy, yeah.
But we appreciate y'all coming through. Thank you for coming through. New people, keep studying, keep learning. Go home and make sure you highlight your Bibles and read on your own time and rehearse the information. All right? No problem. Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.